पाकिस्तान में पहली बार पबजी मोबाइल का जुनून पहुंचा है कॉलेज कैंपस पर। अपना स्क्वाड जमा करें और अपनी कैंपस की नुमाइंदगी करें। लड़िए अपने विकार के लिए। दाव पर हैं $30,000।
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and once again, welcome back to PUBG Mobile Campus Championship Pakistan region. And this whole tournament is sponsored by Oppo F19 Pro Power Up Game. My name is Ankit, and again, joining alongside with me will be Necro. So, Necro, yesterday we just saw the matches where actually Group B and Group C collided, and today will be a time where Group A and C will be going head-to-head against each other. So, what are the expectations? Because yesterday we saw some teams really flaring up their performance.
Exactly. I mean, performances, ups and downs do happen, especially, in the game of PUBG. And as I did mention, and as I do mention almost all the time, that most of the times, most of the things do come down to luck. So as well, even if some of the best teams, sometimes they don't really perform well, it's because mostly they're not really able to figure out new teams, right? In PMCC, that means new teams are upcoming. You don't really know their strategies as well. So that means first you need to figure out how they play and then try and figure out a strategy to tackle them down. So these kind of things do take a little time. So maybe the top team sometimes, in the first few days, they're not really up there. But then later on, they just skyrocket up.
Exactly, and as you mentioned these things, this is the massive prize pool. That is a total prize pool of $30,000. Oh my goodness, that is a humongous number if you talk about the total prize pool. But eventually that will be spread, and the first place, the team that gets the title, that owns the trophy, will be getting 10,000, and obviously the name, the fame that they will be making through.
Exactly. Well, I mean, seems like pretty much, I mean, these this prize pool is, of course, an incredible one without any doubt. And a lot of teams are going to be eyeing out for that stuff. That's for sure. Without any trouble, that's for sure. That's what they're going for. I mean, especially in the scrims as well, right? In scrims, there are some scrims going on. And in the scrims, the main priority for these teams are to focus on the prize pool because there's nothing really to prove. But in the campus championship, each and every single position matters. Especially those top three are going to be rewarding you more. It's kind of like a bonus there. It also is going to be getting you a slot in the future for the future tournaments as well. But also it's going to be giving you a lot of money. And for what they're fighting for, how they're going to be getting there is the point system. Pretty much the standard we've been looking for since a longer time. And that 1 kill point is definitely going to be way much more helpful than you think.
I mean, exactly. The 1 kill point obviously helps you if you face an early elimination, as we have seen some teams did falter out. Talk about the team of Qwerty. Yesterday, we just saw them after 4 matches, they were holding the first position, and eventually, as I expected them to raise up their number, raise up their total points, and flare up their number in totality, they did falter out somewhere. But yes, if you are not able to secure good placement points time and again, the kill point actually helps you in binding up the rhythm all in all.
Exactly. I mean, the rhythm, man. The rhythm is probably the most important thing. That's what keeps you and your team connected, especially to the good performance. Especially you have good or bad days all the time. But if your rhythm is looking good, if you have found the sweet tuning for yourself, then I'm pretty sure even in the future, if you keep on tuning yourself just like that in the upcoming tournaments as well, then I'm pretty sure you're going to be doing way much more better.
Exactly, but let's see with the squad roster. Group C, we are heading towards the TeamTES and all the teams that feature in the Group C segment. Group A segment offers you 4th generation, Gyro, Freestyle, Glory Nation, and straight away, Necro, my eyes will be teams like Freestyle, and later on Bablu will get to see that they will also be playing for today's match. Stalwart Esports, No Sympathy, and Bablu, the chosen four. So for today's match, one thing is gonna be sure that you have to buckle up your seatbelts because actions will be packed for all these 4 matches.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Action-packed gameplays. These are going to be these 4 games without any trouble, without any doubt as well. But I'm pretty sure, as I said, without any trouble, these teams are going to be giving a lot of trouble to these other teams as well. And maybe a little to us as well, because in the endgame situation, the kills just fly away so much, they're just flying in so much that it's actually hard to keep a track. And even the observers sometimes, they're not really able to keep a track. Where's what's going on? So in the end, there is a kind of trouble for us as well. But I mean, that's another story for another day. But all these teams, man, I'm pretty sure today is going to be a banger of a day.
So I mean, it is a trouble and sort of a situation if you see that way, but eventually that offers you an amount of fight that you actually want, and it is a treat to us, not only us, and obviously the viewers, the audience that has tuned in just to watch all these actions and what else apart from these young guns and these players that are just trying to make their name and fame with all these new
Yeah.
strategy and the schedule that we talk about. The game one, as usual, the same format: Erangel followed by Sanhok, Miramar, Erangel. So you start your day with Erangel, you end your day with Erangel, and in between come the Sanhok and Miramar. That actually helps those teams that don't have a very good feet if you talk about the game of Erangel. So Sanhok and Miramar are the two off maps.
Exactly. Sanhok and Miramar, I mean, not really off maps. I mean, they have been in the competitive meta since a longer time, and especially Sanhok, man, a smaller map. The strategies do change a little bit, including Miramar and even Erangel. I mean, you know what I really like about PUBG over here is that each and every single map needs a new strategy. You cannot use the same strategy sticking to it. You need to make a new strategy around the surroundings as well, because the surrounding matters so much in the game of PUBG. So this is what I like, and this is what fascinates me all the time. But these are the overall rankings. For now, Team Qwerty are the king of the hill, and below them is Bablu. And then we have the Slayers as well coming in, and then STDX and Portal Esports. The top 5 for now is looking pretty strong, and I feel like taking the spots away from these lads is going to be a tough task.
I just noticed Arkadians flaring up the number and slowly and steadily climbing themselves up and toddling in that first half of the rack. So it's a good thing that they have finally secured and find themselves in the 8th position. But freestyle, so all these teams will be playing today. Talk about the Stalwart Esports, Team TES, the chosen 4. So this will be a battle, and in among these battles, all the teams will be performing, and it will be great to see how they flare up their number. Talk about the teams that are from 17 to 24. So, Tyro X1110, I have a lot of expectation from this team because the way they played in the first day, that was phenomenal. And since then, they have somewhat found themselves not in groove, I would say.
Exactly. They have not found themselves in the exact right mindset as well. And especially, I mean, take a look at these teams as well, right? We have Team Chaos coming in, then we have X Generation, then we have Black Demons, FTE. The one thing that really boggles my mind over here is that Black Demon, I have seen them play. I have been watching them play. It's like they have the aggression in them. They have the players as well.
Exactly.
What exactly matters is how they challenge the fight. And this is where they get caught off guard. When they challenge a fight, it's not really like a well thought process. They're straight up just rushing on the fight as if you're playing like a casual game. You need to plan it out. You need to have 2 players on
Yeah,
the flank, either 1 player on the flank, getting the information, try and hold down your spot. Controlled
exactly.
aggression is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly, it becomes important to see how these things pan out for them or not. But with that, the first match of the day, Flight Path is on its way from the southern end of Qwerty down towards the city of Stalwart. That means a flight path that actually dissects the whole of the map into the northeast part and this northwest part and southeast parts into 2 equal halves. So the teams that might be looking to go towards the city of Novorupna, or that loves to go to glide towards the area, might be facing some difficulties. But then you have those mobility thing, and also what are our expectation from this very first match?
My expectations is pretty much quite a lot. And especially, we have Team Qwerty in as well. We have Team Qwerty, Bablu chiming in. I want to see these two in like a end game situation, like 2 teams alive, Team Qwerty versus Team Bablu, and let's see who is on the top one. Let's see who comes out on top, because this is of course going to be so interesting to witness, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be creating a lot of thrill even for the viewers that are watching. So it's definitely going to be quite like a interesting moment to watch. It's like the climatic scene in a movie. And this is what we all are waiting for as well. But as the plane flight path has finally disappeared, we are seeing still kind of some teams going on for that drop location. We have FTF going towards Stalbert. Interesting choice. But this is an interesting circle. This is a really good circle, especially my favorite one, the military classic circle. And I like this a lot.
Man, exactly. So, how many times have we seen these circles and top of circles? But
Yeah.
in this semi-final, all in all, we haven't seen these metas, and also it will be interesting to see. Now, the question becomes how the team that has already gone towards the area of Severny and Stalwart, talk about FTF, they will be facing a huge amount of difficulty, because sooner or later we will be seeing teams occupying both the bridges. So, as soon as you make the rotation in the very first half of the game, it will be that much beneficial to you.
Exactly, that will be definitely beneficial for you, without any doubt. And now we still have RTG kind of making their way towards the military base area as well, still kind of opting out for that, especially when this is like a military base circle. I personally like to tell the teams as well, is like go inside the circle first, then loot, and then you can start camping the bridge as well. This is where you're going to be racking up quite a lot of kills, and you don't even have to worry later on about getting in the zone and stuff like that, because military base zone is pretty much the toughest zone to get in, especially if you're too late to the party.
I mean, it is. So, and obviously, one thing into the fact that if the bridge gets camped, the situation becomes worse and worse, and team has to need to find some other way. In that situation, in that desperate situation, some teams do prefer to go and rotate with the help of that water bodies and those ships. So, they become vulnerable at that point of situation, but they don't have any other choice. So, this will be a very interesting game, very first half.
Exactly, this will be a very interesting game, without any doubt. We still have kind of RZx7E here, making the rotation. Still seems like kind of lacking on the loot side. They should hurry up if they want to rack up a lot of kills. Maybe go and prioritize camping the S zone and stuff like that. Hopefully you're okay there, Ankit.
Yeah, I am. It's okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, well, I am okay, but it seems that the players from Tyro, they are not okay. Zan just barely survived. Had there been some shots connected before, things could have turned differently. But a chase is what I am seeing right now, because players from Freestyles, they are not giving up on the players because they just want that kill, that one kill that can eventually turn up their number.
Exactly, that one kill. Each and every single kill matters. And this is what they're here for, that one single kill, and they want it. And it seems like they're not going to be living the chase anymore. Tyro kind of in a massive trouble. There's the US right chasing you down. You don't really have anything else to do. You're also taking quite a lot of heavy damage. Just hope that the tires don't blow out. This is when your prayers maybe can pan you out. But no, it's going to be the answer. A total disrespect coming in from this, out of respect here.
A chase, man, oh man. Maybe a kilometer chase if we have to talk about this. Round from there, he was just trying to make a round, just trying to sabotage the player. But still, finally, that knock did come with a vehicle ran over. An early casualty coming in this match, and one kill is what Freestyles would enjoy surely. But Chiro, 110, they must be banging their head, as the rest of the three players are still safe. But in this very first half of the game, without taking any fight, this is not the way that any teams want to lose their player.
Exactly, this is not the type, or this is not the way any team would want to lose their player. Because I mean, it's just kind of an interesting way to die, and also kind of unfortunate way to die as well. I like how Tyro has positioned themselves up on this tower over here. They also have the high ground advantage. At the same time, they have the entire control of the bridge. Their eyes are everywhere for now, but one player kind of got a little eager, kind of just wanted to get inside the zone, and did get punished instantly. And this is what shows you need to sometimes hold down horses. Patience is the most important key to success. You need to be patient. Sometimes there's going to be bad moments, down moments. It doesn't mean you just get curious and eager and start panicking all over the place. You need to be patient all the time. While we have Qwerty kind of locking their horns against the players far. Still Wolverine kind of wanting to scout out the area. The player's right in front of him. He doesn't want to take any shots because he's not really comfortable in doing that. And also the confidence is the key.
It is, and actually it's either the Wolverine has been caught off guard, because I cannot see any other players from his side, and the rest of the teammates are quite isolated. That means Wolverine, if any time is rushed by the player from R7 Esports, he can be flushed off. But it seems that they're just not trying to overextend themselves. But this is a good strategy, because it's us who know that it's the only player from the sides of Qwerty that is into that warehouse, but the rest of the players from the sides of R7 Esports, they don't know. And now is the time that they have decided to go into this compound and just try to flush off the player. But I can already see the players have started positioning themselves. They have started making a formation, and maybe a rescue mission has come for Wolverine, and they will go according to that to the strategy.
Exactly. They will go according to the strategy as well. The rescue mission, as he called it there, Wolverine needs to be rescued, and seems like finally he has found himself away from the back alleyway. RTG kind of confused where did Wolverine exactly go, because just a moment ago they were able to hear a lot of footsteps from his side, and now there's just no one inside the building. So kind of flourished by the way he played. I'm pretty sure RTG are going to be disappointed. They should have pushed in earlier because he was the only man. And I'm pretty sure they had the info on it as well because Wolverine was the only person who was making a lot of sound inside the house. That means there has to be only one player in the house as well.
Exactly, but the distance, I guess it was spot quite far away. Maybe it was more than 50 meters. So you hear the footsteps, but you just cannot rely if the distance between the players, the enemy players, and the players that are actually scouting is maybe less than 42 meter or so. So you just cannot rely on those info. And just because of that, we just didn't see a push. Else, if he knew that it was just a one player, there was no other sense that why wouldn't he make a push? And just because of that, he just got himself saved. But right now we are witnessing some of the fighters. Stalwart Esports already down. I can already see Bablu receiving some huge amount of damage because Bablu's player are in the same vicinity. So this becomes trickier because these are all the big names. Team Bablu, team talk about team Qwerty, talk about team Stalwarts. In the very first of the game, in any sort of fight, they are indulging themselves up.
Exactly, indulging themselves up. Bablu kind of making that late rotation inside the circle as well. They might just get caught off guard on the way to the bridge. For now, seems like they're just going to be posting themselves up on the near tower, getting themselves the higher ground. Probably sometime is the great strategy. You can stop all the teams that want to make the rotation inside the circle just from that position. They have to rain down death and destruction onto their enemies. All we see Stalwart Esports. I mean, still on the second half of the page here. Not really looking good the way they are right now, especially we do know this name, Stalwart, and we all are familiar. And we do know how these lads played, or how this team played in the PMPL as well. I mean, I know the roster is changed now, but still, I mean, we do expect bigger thing from such a big name.
Exactly, the other roster, the other lineup of Stalwart Esports, be it the Snakes and other players, they are really taking the fight in its own way, in its own course. But for now, it seems that the players from G69 have pinched the players down from the Chosen Four. So this is a team that actually looked very promising, but the way they have panned out, let their match pan out in this 8 matches for semifinals, I'm sort of a bit disappointed. But no, it's not too late. They have still 4 more opportunities, but for now it seems that they are not in a good position out in the open with just help of those destructed and destroyed vehicle. They're just trying to create those artificial covers, but for how long will they survive? So the answer will be there in front of us in a moment or two.
Exactly, the answer will be there in front of us. For now, pretty much out in the open. TC4, Chosen 4 finally back in the competition. It's been a long time. I was looking out for this team. But finally, we seem like we're going to be able to see this team again. King, Harry, and Unknown are the only 3 men right next to each other, including G69. They also have only 3 men, but the disadvantage on TC4's side is immersed. It's looking pretty bad for them. King is out in the open. If King goes down, pretty much the rest of the TC4 is just down to a 2-man squad, and that won't be looking good for his side as well.
But still, King surviving by the luck of it. Has created some smoke cloud. We can already see has some vehicle that has been destroyed, and just because of that, he is trying to create the cover. But a well-cooked nade straight onto his face can really do some damage. Now the smoke has dissipated, and the team rests upon the rest 2 players that from the backhand side are trying to give a cover fire. Talk about the players of Chosen 4, Unknown and Harry. So they are doing a business in a very good way, but a rotation from the side of G69 just to eliminate the pinched down player can be a move that the Chosen 4 might not be predicting. But it seems that some from other angle, the players are just trying to create the flank angle. But look at this, the circle. Where do you think? Maybe towards the side of military base, the circle would constrict.
Of course, this is a military circle because on the top side, on the other side, there's not really a lot of land, and the circle, it has to be on the military island without any trouble because the circle, most of the circle is favoring the side of military base, and this is where the most of the land is as well. So the chances of the circle shifting towards military are way much more. We'll still have TC4 King. It's just like G69 is just wasting so much time by pinning these lads out. I feel like they should go for the rotation early off, as one of the G69 player
Yeah.
is doing the exact thing. It's going to be Goldie, but he is challenging the fight from the back lines. But does he know where the rest of the TC4 players are, because they're right next to him?
Oh man, but he has been finally knocked down as Ani takes him down. Now the the sole responsibility lies onto the shoulders of Unknown and Harry. The two players surviving from the side of Chosen 4. And as you just mentioned, both of the team, I would say, have lost a crucial amount of time, because in this circle shift, in this meta, you just need to prioritize your rotation, because we can already see a congestion from the side of Novorupnoy Bridge. 3-4 teams I can already see colliding, and it seems that C4 King will bleed off soon, and the chance of him being revived is just zero.
Exactly. The chances are looking pretty minimal as well. King is pretty much a gone case for now. That's going to be Ani pushing right on to King, getting the confirmation as well. But Goldie is there in the back line. Ani's kind of out in the open. He might just be caught off guard. Another fight happening in front of our eyes. Tyro going straight up against the players of Arkadians. Arkadians are on the come up right now. Kazan has gotten them down to such low HP as well. Going to be popping the first aid. One man is almost back to full HP. Looking pretty good for now. Kazan as well has full HP. So Kazan is pretty much chilling inside this entire situation. But he also has a lot of trouble on his head. Has a lot of responsibilities on his head as well. He needs to get his teammate back up to feet. Gets the first knockup for him. Tyro seems like they're being pretty impatient inside this fight. Kazan, though, he is being pretty prominent, pretty passive as well. Trying to hold on, playing safely, and yes, he gets the second one as well, taken down. And that's an incredible clutch coming out from the side of Arkadians. Kazan putting the Arkadians flag on the top.
Exactly. Again and again, we have seen this team playing with a three-man lineup, and this is a perfect example. How can you execute your 5 hike? How can you put yourself in a fight and just try to pass out with the flying colors? Again and again in yesterday's match, we also saw Arkadians coming up again and again with those kills and those kill points. For now, they have lost one man. That means the two players will be the only two players for them throughout the course of this match. So now the circle has gone away from this Novorupnoy Bridge towards the military bridge, and I still don't understand players and the teams from G69 and NS and F4 and the players like Sirius and Spark. How would they make a rotation? Because if they go for that water rotation, a crate will be straight away formed into that water body.
Not really a lot happening here. Freestyle taking little shots here and there. 4gen found themselves in quite a tricky spot. Freestyle seems like they're not going to let them go away anytime soon. Being merciless at this point in time. 4gen as well, lobbing into some nades. Yes, gets the first knock for himself as well. Freestyle, the tables have turned. The hunters have been hunted now, and it seems like they're finally crumbling down on their knees. This is where they need to realize that this is the right time to at least find a knock for themselves or try and contest down the fight. But Bablu seems like they've joined the fray. Got two player of 4gen knocked out from the backlines. This is a massive help for Freestyle over here.
Fourth generation in a total sandwich position, if we have to describe it. From the front hand side, the players from Freestyles are pincering them down. From the back hand side, Bablu was pincering them down until and unless the final nail in the coffin has been brought down and drawn by the sides of Freestyles. So now Freestyles has to be very much cautious, because sooner or later, in a second or a two, they will be up against a big name, and that will be Bablu. And if they have read the kill feed, they must be knowing these things.
Exactly. Must be knowing these things without any doubt. While we still see Arkadians, just a two-man squad, but they're a two-man army for now. They're two-man strong, as I like to call them. No Sympathy is one of the teams that is not really looking good in the overall leaderboards. They are on the latter half. They are on the bottom of the leaderboard here. RZ took quite a lot of damage in that process, and it seems like the team that he's going up against is going to be Bablu. Are you sure you want to challenge this fight? Because we do know what Bablu is capable of doing.
So you don't have any other option. You just have one team. You can just go YOLO, or maybe you can just go home. And in that situation, R7 Esports, they have taken some fights in their number. For now, this is an even fight, 4v4 fight. Anything can happen in this. But if you are going against this big name, you just need something extra to pin them down. And just because of that, we can see some rotation. Dante in the open, he was just trying to ball down. This could have been brave move. This could have been a straight slam in, but I like the way the players from R7 Esports are actually approaching toward this fight. They are just trying to engulf the player of Team Bablu.
Look at TES here. We have TES kind of making the rotation as well in the waterways. G69. You know, the funny part is like they can spot each other out, but they just cannot do anything. Inside this fight, G69 probably have the edge because they are the closest to the shores as well. But Bablu kind of pinning the players off in their opponent line down. And it's going to be right. Donnie kind of not really showing any mercy in that fight there. He does know that player's getting rested up as well, back on his feet. He needs to stand the weaker, but he just doesn't find the right angle. Those nades are so damaging for the side of Team Bablu here. But they found another knockout for themselves, and this is the right moment to strike. Bablu needs to push it inside and get some few knocks for here and there for themselves.
Ooh. Exactly, but use of utilities haven't still seen in this match, because Bablu could have done things differently, but what they are just trying to do is pincer down the players. For now, Boss has been limited. Hitman is on its knee, and it seemed that yes, Bablu executes the fight. 7 kills already onto this name. 1 kill in the Dani's name, but I'm damn sure that the rest 6 of the kills have been secured by them. And this is a spot, this is a sweet spot for Team Bablu. All they can do is they can hold the compound and just wait for the teams that are trying to cross from this, come to the shore.
Within the blink of an eye, I already see Bablu eliminating that team out the game. RZx, unfortunate stuff for them. Did not expect such kind of an ending for their side this time. The Chosen 4 was the team that got eliminated first off in the game. And we do not expect such kind of plays coming out from a team like the Chosen 4. We want them to play better as well. We do know they have the caliber. But keep in mind, Team Qwerty and Team Bablu, the best teams are still alive inside this competition. So anything can happen. The tables can be flipped.
Yeah. Exactly, but one thing we have to keep in mind is that Team Qwerty, they are just surviving with 2 men, so they have to be very much cautious. But on the other side, on the other hand, Team Bablu is still 4 men strong with the 7 kill that they have secured in this 20 match. This would have surely added and boosted up with their confidence, and I'm sure that they are looking to fish all the players, and they already know those vehicles, those ships that has been destroyed. So they have an idea that some players are just trying to come to the shore area. So this is an opportunity that Bablu are looking for. We have seen Bablu performing in the Miramar. Now is the time of Erangel.
Exactly, now it's the time for Erangel. Still see Bablu, Teen Wolf, though, kind of playing it out cautious. I like the way he's out here. It's probably a scout for the team. Teen Wolf spots rotation out in the open. But that dossier is a little bit too much in the open. We still have FTF here. Their position is uncontested. If they make too much sound, this is where their position will be given away as well. FTF, though, have finally given their position away. That means Bablu is well aware of them.
It is, but look at this Team Qwerty just surviving on 1 man. The last player surviving, 0 kills all toward the name. They have already been let down by all the players and all the teams, so that means that Bablu will be emerging strong, even if they secure a good placement points. And it is a challenging thing if we talk about this, because #1 and #2 is being closely contested right towards the scores of this tournament if we talk about the semi-finals all in all. But FTF, they are also looking strong. As soon as Lala gets the revival again, the team will be 4 men strong, and 3 kills already onto the name, holding that hill. That can be a situation that can turn into them. But as you just said, within a blink of 5, many teams eliminated, and next was no sympathy following rest of teammates to the lobby.
Exactly. For now, Bablu is looking the strongest team in this entire lobby here. The way these guys are playing, they have all their 4 players alive. Arkadians, Kaizen, kind of a risk rotation, takes 1 player down. Teen Wolf, that's an incredible knockdown right there. It seems like Kaizen is not going to be stopping anytime soon. He's also taking quite a lot of damage from the left side. Kaizen trying his best to fight back, trying his best to stay alive till the end. 1 player from the side of Team Bablu has been taken down. That's going to be Stalwart Esports kind of stealing the kill away. Unfortunate moment for Kaizen as well, as FTF third parties him and takes him down.
Exactly, Kazan was just too much in the open, and we just saw the player that he knocked got stolen by the player from Stalwart Esports. That means Stalwart Esports is just having a very good eye and having a very good map sense. And we talk about that team has just secured 1 more kill. 4 kills already onto the name. 2 players still surviving. 1 player needs the revival. Will he get the revival or not? That is a thing that needs to be seen. But look at the players from Freestyles. They are also in the open. They just need to hide themselves up in the bushes. 5 kills already onto the name. This can be a game for them too. But as we just saw, the circle constricts towards the area of that military bridge. So whoever holds that bridge well, maybe that can come victorious at the end of this match.
Exactly. That can come victorious as well. Bablu has quite a lot of points for themselves. Indeed. For now, they're looking pretty decent. They've gotten 7 kills on their name. That's a lot of kills inside the lobby. If they manage to get 2 or 3 more kills, it's pretty much 30 points in total if they get the chicken dinner included. But Stalwart Esports still on the bridge line. They do know if they proceed any further, that just might be it for them.
Indeed, it will be, but a rotation coming from the sides of Team Bablu, but they have to be very much cautious because some players are already around that side. FTF tops and goes down, and Khan very close to the players of Team Bablu. He will be surely taken down, but Freestyle's rest of the players comes to the action and takes 1 more player down. Arkadians' sole player is still surviving, but in a blink, Team Bablu gets eliminated. All thanks, all courtesy to Freestyle's Vegeta. 4 kills already onto the name. The team is looking damn too destructive.
The team's looking pretty good. That's going to be Team Qwerty taking an exit from the lobby as well. In the 5th position. Managed to hold off pretty well. FTF kind of being impatient here against the players of Stalwart Esports. Just spot him right next to him as well. Here's the first hit going off, and I'm pretty sure at this point he's pretty jealous. Peeks out, gets taken down instantly. Beautiful cover fire from the back lines.
Exactly, Stalwart Esports making it worse for the players. Now is the time when the circle will be taking a second 7th shift in a while or two. Stalwart Esports, 3 players are still surviving, and TES 2 players are still surviving. So this is a 3v2 affair where everything is on the line in this very first match. Stalwart Esports, 8 kills already on to name. They are looking pretty strong. All the 3 players holding the different angles from the bridges. They are looking strong. So now it comes down to where the circle goes, to the player of FS or goes away from the player of TES. If it goes away from the player of TES, they have to come into zone. And I'm sure that Freestyles knows that 2 players are holding those bridges.
Exactly. 2 players are definitely holding those bridges for now. Freestyle, all 3 players alive. Came in the lobby with 3 players, still alive. 3-man strong squad. Gotta give props to these lads. They were just a 3-man squad, and they have came so far. They've gotten themselves 10 kills in the end, and those are a lot of points. Imagine if they just mop out the entire field as well. That's gonna be a lot of kills in their pocket all by themselves.
So can this be a heal battle, Necro? What do you think? Can this be a heal battle?
Well, I mean, let's focus on the game first because we don't really know much. Things are kind of confusing here. And heal battle, I mean, chances are pretty less because the guys in the water, they will have to push out sometime. And this is where things will get pretty tough. TES needs to move out as well. Respect barely makes it out alive from that nade. So I like the way Stalwart Esports is ready for this fight. They want Freestyle to make any kind of rookie mistakes. As soon as they do, Stalwart Esports will find the right moment to strike and take him down.
Exactly, but the way Pablo has aligned himself, he has to be very much cautious because an inch away from that pole, from that pedestal, he will be straight away landing onto the land. And I'm sure that players from TES and Freestyles won't even allow him to come to the land, and a crate will be formed. So he has to be very much cautious. Pablo is holding a very good angle for sure, but he has to be very much cautious because he has given his position, or maybe a cooked nade onto his face can do some damage. But the game is on a deadlock situation, and every team is just waiting for the zone to contract and some emotes being thrown from the side of Stalwart Esports. Maybe they have realized that they have got this chicken dinner.
Exactly, and it seems like Axe is having a great time for now. He's having a great time enjoying the weather as well. He does know, I mean, the fights are pretty much going to be delayed for a longer time, so you might as well have a little lapse here and there. Might as well have some enjoyable moments in the game. TES, though, still kind of stuck in the water. They cannot really do much if they're just going to be in the water. They cannot even shoot. They cannot even try to defend themselves. And this is pretty much like TS will have to opt out for a heal battle because they don't have any other choice. Freestyle, though, they have the most ground for themselves, the most covered ground for themselves, and I'm pretty sure this might just be Freestyle's game.
It can be freestyle, or maybe it can go towards the players of Stalwart Esports, because if the circle constructs, I just saw the player that just did a throw that emote, he just had the 10 first aid. That means he's already prepared for that heal battle that I just mentioned a moment back.
Exactly. That nade, though, feel like TES is trying their best to kind of fight back in this situation. Stuck in the water behind a little pole. Cannot really do much, don't really have a lot of cover for themselves as well. Finally, a smoke wall being built for themselves. This is where they find the right moment. This is where they create the right space for themselves and push against the players of Freestyle. And this is where Freestyle will have to kind of calculate what they're trying to do as well. Nate's lopped in from their side. Lovely. Finally on a move, exposing his body a little. Got a lot of info in that situation as well. Respect still behind the pole. I like how Tyrant has positioned himself. And take a look at what's happening over here. Buggy ramps straight inside the water, and he will have to pay the price for such kind of wicked move.
Maybe he just sacrificed himself because he just wanted to know the location and let his teammates know that where the players are actually aligned. So this can be a move if it goes into the name in their name. This will be a move that we will cherish and will say that yes, that was a good move. But if it goes against them, this can be a bad move for sure.
Of course, I mean, it was pretty much like a suicidal play from the side of Stalwart Esports. All they wanted to see is that how Freestyle have posted themselves up.
Exactly.
And this is what they got. They got the info that they needed, but one man down. Now Stalwart Esports is just a two-man squad, and it seems like they're going to be doing the same thing again. Dasha taking that out. Are they just going to be wrapping it straight under though? And Cairo taking quite a lot of damage, taken down instantly. Tyrant's eyes are pretty much eagle-eyed. Seems like they're going to be pretty much unstoppable inside this entire fight. The barrage of nades coming in as well. Axe the last man alive, but for how long is he going to be able to stay alive as well? Barely on the other side of the bridge, and he does realize he is the last person. He has a lot of first aid for himself as well. He has 10 first aids in his packet, and this is where Axe, the real heal battle, will start.
It will indeed, as the circle will be taking a shift. The 9th shift is on its way, and the barrage of nades, the area of nade, as you say, is already on his course. 24 damage is what all I just saw, but he is just, he has actually sensed that this is a chicken dinner that can go into my name. All he can do, all he wants to do, all he has to do is to just dodge all those mollies. He has to be a bit more careful about that, but 10 first aids, this is a game for them. Probably this is a game for them.
This is probably a game for them, but no. I would say no, because the player of Freestyle have way much more meds than him. Look at Tyrant; he has 15 first aids on him. So it's pretty much a Freestyle game. If he doesn't decide to just peek out and at least take one player down from Freestyle, if he doesn't do that, Axe is pretty much in a lot of trouble. Axe needs to fight right now. Those 10 first aids are not going to be helping him to get the win.
It won't be, because obviously 15 first aids would last longer than 10 first aid, and this is the thing that the zone of death, as we say. But still, Vegeta not giving up, just trying to find the player, and if the player comes in the crosshair, that will be the time, and we just have to wait for that heal battle. A thing that we all just wanted to see in this first game. We haven't seen any heal battle, if we have to be honest about that, in this whole course of this semi-final, or maybe about that that quarter-final and so. So this, the first game between Group A and C, the match goes towards the heal battle. This becomes interesting.
Exactly. Becomes pretty interesting for now. Axe still out, wants to take at least one player down, trying his best to kind of stay alive. Zone's moving away. This is the right time to use the first aid. You're taking quite a lot of damage, and it seems like Axe is just giving up, and this is pretty much it. Yes, Axe kind of threw that game away. He had 10 first aids in his hand. He could have utilized those and at least try to waste some time. But again, Axe, I don't really know what happened. He kind of missed the right time. When I said he should use the first aid, he should have used the first aid at the right time. But again, each and every single second matters in those late game circles, and if you're going to be missing even a second,
indeed,
that's when it's pretty much done for you. Freestyle getting the chicken dinner in overall ranking, #4, taking a position away from a team is a massive thing. and it seems like they have moved up quite a lot. 13 kills, that's a massive point difference right there. 28 points in total, an incredible play.
Exactly, and just saw 181 damage. That is a massive, massive damage. If you talk about the course of the game, that the three players, and mind you, they were not a four-man lineup. They started the match with just three men, and we have seen how four men take a fight. This was a prime example. This was an epitome. If we have to talk about that, how three players do take the fight, and I just don't understand how that match just slipped away from Stalwart Esports. Axe could have done things differently. Maybe he could have used it first hit, but some emotes were thrown already in this match, and maybe somewhere down the line he just missed the trick. Maybe before throwing that emotes, he would have pressed that button of heal onto himself. Then things might have done go differently, but still, it's taking no credits away from Freestyle. Three men coming that strong and straight away climbing that ladder, that mountain of points that we talk about onto that fourth ranking. So this is a thing that Freestyles must be enjoying, and one thing is for sure that they are qualifying for that next round.
Exactly, qualifying for that next round, getting that next round in their hand. I mean, Freestyle, they were not really looking good in the initial fight that was happening against FTF though. But Bablu from the backlines kind of provided them a little help. The third party, the Fray, took at least 2 players down from FTF, and now FTF was just down to a one-man squad. And they pretty much just mopped the rest of them out, and this is what the MVP is looking like. We have Tyrant as the MVP here with 7 kills and 904 damage. With the survival time of 29 minutes, 54 seconds, and 2 assists. I mean, wow. What am I seeing there? Tyrant, you absolute beast.
Exactly. So this is what all you want, and indeed, Tyrant did find himself 100 out of 100, all points given to him, and just because of that, Freestyles were able to secure a chicken dinner. Top players of the match is on a TV screen. Tyrant and Vegeta, Cairo and Kaizen, all the 4 players did perform, and just because of that, we also saw Arkadians coming very close.
Exactly, Arkadians tried their best to, kind of come out on top in that game as well, but in the end, they were just left with one-man squad, and he got caught off guard in the open ground as well. Didn't really have a lot of cover. He did have the smoke grenade. He used them as well, but they kind of faded away with time. So, of course, he was out in the open, got taken down instantly. But props to Kaizen. He tried his best.
He did, and Stalwart Esports again and again, a performance that we all expected in yesterday's match. They also did perform well and carrying the same momentum. It becomes actually important. 8 kills on to the name, 12 placement points, a total of 20 points. So this is a massive point booster, but the winner of this match was obviously Freestyle. 13 kill with just 3 players. This is an outstanding performance.
Yeah, this is definitely a good performance. I want to see Stalwart Esports kind of back on the first base, kind of back on the top end, because this game was definitely quite a lot good. 20 points for themselves. I mean, they will definitely get a little boost here and there. Nope, Sympathy
exactly.
Still not looking good on the overall leaderboards. Even in the points of match ranking, still kind of down bad. They need to do something. They need to wake up, and this is the right time.
Exactly, and because after this, as we all know, all the teams will be just getting that 12 matches, and 9 matches is all what Group A and C has exhausted all in all, and the rest 3 matches that will be off for Sanhok, Miramar, and respectively Sanhok that will be taking its course. So 3 more opportunities left onto them. All they have to do is just come in that top 16, of which all the 32 teams are just waiting for. But before that, we are heading towards the Oppo F19 Pro Moments, the Pro Moments that actually bring a shocker of all in all, because this was a push from the slide of Glory Nation that was straight away outrightly rejected.
Exactly. Straight away rejected. And I'm pretty sure Glory Nation, I mean, man, they are, definitely, they're not really able to show glory in that previous game, that's for sure. And I like how the back cover was provided as well. A little bit of emotes here and there kind of thrown in from his side. But in the end, Axe kind of screwed up because he didn't really find the right timing. He kind of missed the right time and he used the first aid. And a little too late to use that as well. And the zone just ate him out alive. And the overall rankings are looking something like this. STDX moved down from the 4th position to 5th. And then we have Portal Esports as well taking a back step. Stalwart Esports, though, got themselves 7th position. Now, this is where the comeback is possible.
Exactly. Before the start of the match, we saw them on the 8th position and climbing 1 step ahead. So the competition is very close. If you talk about from 5th to 8th, the point are very much less. Eventually, freestyles are also just 1 and 2 points away. But then the first 2 and 3, they are playing in a different league. Arkadians, they were on the first half of the chart, but maybe a performance that was not enough to put themselves still constant on the first half of the chart. But still, they have 3 matches left. But teams like Team Prime, Renegades, obviously Renegades is not playing, but Chosen 4, they need to be very much cautious because anytime they can slip to the second half of the chart. And if they do slip, they don't have any other option to qualify because only the top 16 will be going to the finals.
Pretty much, they don't really have a lot of time. And even a lot of chances, the chances are slipping away. And it's the right moment to wake up. This is your wake-up call. You need to understand, if you make any kind of silly mistakes now, it's pretty much done. You're not going to be finding a spot for yourself in the future finals as well. So this is the right moment. And make sure you're utilizing it to its best. And make sure as well that you're trying to make mistakes. Making mistakes is pretty much normal. It's fine if you make mistakes, but try to work on them as time passes by as well, because the PMCC have been going on since a long time, and I'm still seeing some teams, committing the same mistakes that they were in the past.
Yeah. Indeed, from a round of 128, the team got reduced to 64 and then to 32. And from here, we will be witnessing 16 teams for the finals after all the matches of semi-final gets over. But obviously, you just need to learn your mistake because this is the grassroots level of championship and tournament that is being held by PUBG. And so you just have to take care of all these things.
Exactly. You have to take care of all these things, especially this is a big event. This is a big tournament. Keep this thing in mind. And keep this thing in mind as well. This pretty much decides your careers as well. If you are going to be performing good in the future, it's pretty much like you're going to be the professional player. You're going to be getting a lot of fame. Keep that thing in mind. Let that thing motivate you in the future as well for performing good.
Exactly. With this glorious match, we are down with 1 match, but 3 matches are still left for the day. We will be right back. Stay tuned.
Are you keeping it real?
PUBG Mobile, Godzilla vs. Kong, all-new collaboration, live now. In the latest version of PUBG Mobile, players may encounter titans during a match, just like in the movies. Let's learn more about the all-new game modes, shall we? Titan Strikes. The Titan Strikes mode introduces 3 titans to Erangel, Sanhok, and Livid. Godzilla and Kong move along designated routes across the map. Players can chase after them in vehicles, but if you get too close, you'll be knocked down and take damage. When Titans get ready to unleash a heat ray, the system will prompt players to leave the red zone marked on the minimap. Players equipped with high-level armor receive reduced damage from the heat ray. Titans will absorb energy which emanates gradually from the earth. Once the energy reaches a certain threshold, Titans release it and create Titan crystals around them. Different types of Titan crystals provide different effects. Erangel's blue Titan crystals are special throwable items that players can equip. They knock back and burn enemies who are behind cover. Sanhok's gold Titan crystals enhance players' abilities, making you run faster and jump higher. Livik's red Titan crystals give players the ability to detect enemies nearby for a brief period of time. These enhancement items give players an edge in battle. Use them and bring the chicken dinner home. With the help of Titan crystals, players have even more unique tactics to achieve victory. Godzilla and Kong roam Erangel and Sanhok respectively, and players may bump into them on Spawn Island. Players can preview the Titan's route on the minimap, along with Apex Cybernetics, and low, mid, and high-level monster settlements. Apex Cybernetics are scattered along the Titan's route, which contains many valuable supplies. However, players can only enter the facility after a Titan has destroyed the base. Players that arrive early will not be able to get into the highly fortified Apex camp. At the same time, defeating different monster settlements rewards good supplies. Monster settlements are mainly occupied by lizards and crabs. Players can use a diversion to divide and conquer. The monsters are big, so using a shotgun at close range can deal huge damage. Players must also be wary of the Titan's attacks. Although they're not hostile towards players, they get irritated when there's too many players around. The Titan on Livik has unique electromagnetic abilities that affect the blue zone and cause it to shift every once in a while. Now, players must pay constant attention to the new play zones and transfer immediately when they begin to shrink, as to ensure they're not swallowed by the blue zone. Furthermore, Mechagodzilla periodically scans an area of the safe zone and marks the locations of everyone in the area on the minimap. This urges players to transfer or engage their enemies. Players must be extra careful. The Titan Strikes game mode is based on Battle Royale. Players must strive to be the last one standing amidst battling other players and Titans. With the addition of Titans, players are ready to witness their majesty and get their hands on the mysterious Titan crystals. Enjoy the all-new Titan Strikes and experience the earth-shattering might.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and once again, welcome back to PUBG Mobile Campus Championship Pakistan region. And this whole event is sponsored by Oppo F19 Pro. Power up game. My name is Ankit, and again, joining alongside with me will be Necro. So we just witnessed the first match in which Freestyles with the streaming lineup did something what they have done in the past. So next match on the Sanhok, expectations first up.
I mean, Sanhok, expectations, if you're asking me as expectations, which team will win, is that what you're asking me?
No, maybe the whole course of the game. Do you expect some teams going YOLO in this very first game?
No, of course not. Of course not. I mean, I don't really expect any teams going YOLO because these are the semifinals, right? And each and every single game matters here. If you're going to be screwing up even one game, it's pretty much that the team is that following you up. You're just going to let your position be stolen away, you know? So you don't really want those things. I don't feel like any of the teams are going to be going as a YOLO ones, but we might see some early engagements.
Exactly, and same as I do and the fans are, but I would really interested to see how the game of course will take in its shape, but the area of boot camp, it will be in contestation again and again. Maybe we might see two teams dropping on the same area, or maybe that can be still left barren.
Exactly. Pretty much those things do happen. We have FTF kind of going towards hot thin area. Finally, circle on the bottom right side of the map. Interesting circle. Lakavi kind of the contested area for now. Chosen 4. I mean, this team, previous game wasn't really there. Maybe in this game, they're going to be able to do at least something because I do believe in this team. I have known Chosen 4 since the PMCC started overall, and they have came a long way for sure. So I feel like they're here to not give up.
Man, exactly, and we don't have also much chances left. If we talked about this game, including this game, there's only 3 games that next will be Miramar and next will be Sanhok. So after 12 games, each team will be facing the 12 games, and then the opportunity will be exhausted, and then the total points will be counted and accumulated, and then the top 16 will be qualifying for the next round. And I'm sure that Chosen 4 must be eyeing for the top 16 slot.
Exactly, they will be eyeing out for the top 16 slots. While we still have TES kind of out in the far ways, in the far freights near the barn area. We have Lovely though kind of making the way right next to his teammates, while Team Qwerty having a great time looting all the bootcamp area for themselves. And we do know one thing, they're going to be racking up quite a lot of loot.
They are actually looking up to rack up some good numbers and accumulate and find some good real frag for them, because in the last match they did falter out somewhere here or there. Obviously some players were caught off guard, we just saw them, but Stalwart Esports carrying the same momentum from the last game, dropping again onto the area of Paradise Resort, and maybe Arkadians 666 solo player, I can see him onto the backhand side. And does the player from Stalwart Esports know that the player from Arkadian sides are already there? And look at that split. Arkadians to the area from the southern side of Paradise Resort towards the area closing towards the bridge of Camp Alpha and Camp Bravo. This is a long split because they are in a very long split.
Exactly. Pretty much longer split than you expect. And,
Exactly.
I mean, the split, as you did mention, sometimes it can be pretty bad as well. But unless you're able to catch your enemy off guard, when some enemies do not really expect you to be split that much, and they accidentally just step in the line of your sight, and when
Yeah.
they do, then you can call the rest of the split from the back lines, and it's pretty much like the team that's trying to push you has been pincered down now between the both of your players. They're getting shot from the back line as well, even from the front lines from your side. So such kind of strategies do work out, but most of the times, the team that you're going up against, they're most probably to find a knock on your team before the rest of your players make it back.
And that the thing that you were talking about that most often happen in the map of Sanhok, the sandwich situation we saw in the game of Erangel, where the player from Glory Nation was stuck between the player of FS and Bablu from the back end side. But this was the thing we were talking about. One player, if caught off guard, he won't be safe. That means the players from Arkadians, they are looking very strong. Closing one more player down as Glory Nation Pablo goes down. So this is a game maybe that can change its course for them, because joining the frame, joining the lobby, joining the match with 4 men strong as 666K, Abokazan and Gambler, they are looking strong. 2 kills already onto the name. This will boost up with a lot of confidence.
Exactly. And that's going to be boosting up quite a lot of their confidence as well. Arkadians, though, Caden kind of out in the open, kind of running here and there. It's still a little time now. They do know kind of if you're going to be a little too impatient and just move out in the open in just the map of Sanhok overall, you never know where the snakes are hiding, and even some players are camping out the situations or the positions, so you always got to watch out, at least in the map of Sanhok. No early engagement found this time. A lot of teams are next to each other, but still they're taking kind of a cautious approach.
They do. And one more thing that I can bring into the fact is that Ronnie truck and a buggy is not a thing that you find yourself usually to rotate in the map of Sanhok, and Glory Nation surviving with just 2 players strong. They must be looking up to go for that placement point, because not much of strategy you can unveil yourself with, because true men strong and numbers advantage is all what we talk about again and again in the game of PUBG.
Exactly. This is what we talk about. And especially in the game of PUBG, as you did mention, I mean, okay, well, we're seeing quite a lot of unused things as well, kind of unique approach inside the rotation, And G69 is waiting right for him to walk in his crosshair. Ani is ready and prepared, and all he needs to do is just take him down instantly. Barely makes it out alive from that situation. He is a lucky man to stay alive for now.
Exactly. But still, Vegeta just trying to heal himself up. A good thing he has done that he has repositioned himself up, but look at the pace, look at the speed with which the players from rest of the sides of freestyles have come in the frame. Respect just trying to give him the cover fire. Oh my goodness! The nade already almost took him down, but King barely surviving on 20 HP takes him down with the help of one gun, but obviously find himself down as Vegeta goes down with that QBZ spray as Oni takes him down. Now it's all on the shoulders of Respect and Tyrant. Respect, I can find himself in a bit tricky position because he is stuck. He can just not fall himself down from there.
Exactly, pretty much stuck. Doesn't have much for himself, and these kind of things are going to be pretty unfortunate for him. I mean, G69 for now, the team that won the previous game, freestyle. Well, one man short already. Now it means there's just down to a 2-man squad. I'm pretty sure, quite unfortunate. And got kind of overconfident in there as well. He was using the tuk-tuk for himself. And this is when he got caught off guard. And this is what actually proves that point as well. Never be overconfident.
Indeed, maybe this is a confidence that freestyle is carrying from the last match, but confidence is another thing, and just flaring yourself up and finding your feet above the earth's surface, that's the overconfidence, and then you will be severely punished. Now, it's all up to the players of Tyrant and Respect, and they just cannot do much from here. All they can do is to go for this placement points.
Exactly. All they can do is just go for the placement points. Still have freestyle kind of out there in the open on the hilltop. Don't really have a lot of breathing space for themselves. need to be pretty cautious in a situation like these. And this is where Freestyle kind of are pinned out. I mean, they cannot really move out. The entire squad of G69 is just holding this edge off because they know Freestyle is inside the Kampong City, and maybe a little patience can bring them out.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. But a moment back, I just saw the players from Qwerty going against the players of Team Bablu, where Team Bablu was dominating. One player was already knocked down. So a fight that actually also erupted in the game of Erangel, that fight has continued down to the second match and second map of the day on the map of Sanhok. So again and again, Team Qwerty and Team Bablu, that fight for that first and second position is straight away contested as we enter the match.
Exactly. As we enter the map, you're already seeing so many things here. And, well, Stalwart Esports, though, kind of, looking left and right, scouting the area out as well. Still, we have Arkadians. Gambler, he does know of records right in the front lines. TES is still there. He does hear a little bit of huss in the grass. I like how Gambler's moving. He's making the most minimum movement so that his sound cue is also not given away. And I like how he used his brain there. I would like to call that a 200 IQ play, but almost spots him out as well. That's a beautiful eagle eye, as I would like to call it. He looked at the right direction, but again, kind of missed the target. And it seems like he does have a little clue as well. That's kind of interesting because that's some next level human eye right there.
That spotting level at this level, this is insane, and this is what we are witnessing. These lads from the region of Pakistan, they are making it happen. Now what all I can see is the player from TES, they have heard the sounds of gunfire maybe from the sides of Stalwart Esports. So this is a sandwich like situation for most of the situation for all these teams. Also, I can see more and more teams joining in the frame. Tyro also joining the frame. So 4 or 5 teams in the same vicinity. Bablu maybe sooner or later will be joining the frame too, if they like to do so or not.
Exactly. For now, we still have kind of Bablu moving here and there. The things that Bablu do sometimes are just incredible, and they fascinate me. Even in those tricky situations, they still find the right way to rotate inside the circle, which is pretty interesting.
Indeed it is, but look at the cluster that has developed on the area of side of Ban and on the area of Qwerty. TES, STE, and a team like Bablu, and also one team from the western side that is Qwerty, a big name trying to rotate from the sides from western side where they might be facing the challenge of FTF or the Chosen 4 or the 4th generation. So Circle saying no to all the teams that already aligned themselves in the area on the northern side of Qwerty, now has to move onto the circle. So this challenge still remains. How are they going to move? Because the fights will be erupting into that outside that safe zone, and that will be a blue zone. And in that situation, one thing is for sure, that the blue zone will say no to each of this player, and that will be a detrimental damage to them. But for now, it is that Tyro, they are on the receiving end. Stalwart Esports just spotted the players, takes one down. That means 3 kills already onto the name, and the team is looking pretty strong.
The team's looking pretty strong. I'm pretty sure they want to keep this strong. They want to keep this strength with them all the time. Tyro. Ooh. One player knocks out, down and dusted instantly. Cairo knocks out Tyro. That actually rhymes as well.
Indeed, and Freestyle just got eliminated. A team that actually got chicken dinner in the last match. So how many times we have seen a team that gets the chicken dinner gets the first team to get eliminated in the just next match? And the same happened to, and in an unfortunate event of situation, the same happened to Freestyle, and they must not be happy about that.
They must not be happy about that for sure. We'll still have Arkadians. Kaizen kind of scouting the area out. He does hear quite a lot of shots in the nearby vicinity as well. Arkadians on move finally, utilizing that smoke, even though they have a little clue that the compound right in front of them might be just clear. I like how safe Arkadian plays. They just don't want to take any chances.
Exactly, indeed. And Stalwart Esports after that wipe out of the some of the players from Tyro. They are just trying to rotate, and look at the way they are just trying to rotate in Buggy with the help of Buggy that has already been destroyed 50%. They just have no fear whatsoever.
Exactly. Just have no fear whatsoever. And I mean, for these kind of things, especially like Bablu, they're trying their best as well to, kind of try and come out on top in these situations. But I feel like the way Bablu is moving right now, I feel like the way is not really looking good and safe for them because there's so many teams surrounding them. And if they find themselves out in the open, they can be taken down from any angle.
They have to be very much cautious about that because teams are hunting them down again and again, and the Chosen Four, a very good split from them, a different compound hole that can actually go into the number, and they're just kill hungry. Look at this, a split, a long split. C4 King on the other side, Unknown on the other side, Harry holding that watchtower, that wooden watchtower that you call, and all the four players looking damn pretty strong. So four players in four different directions. They're just trying to capitalize and make the most of situation. And as you said before this match started, that I have a lot of expectation from Chosen Four. They're just trying to live up to that expectation. But again, one team that didn't live up to the same expectations were Arkadians because they were just flushed out of this match. But with this, the airdrop 3 offers you an MK14, and maybe Tyro with this exclusive can add themselves up with some greeters and all.
Exactly, that can add them up. No Sympathy, still down bad, very bad on the overall leaderboards. Zeus, they still have Zeus in their team. The God of Lightning, God of Thunder, as we like to call him. First knock already found out. Seems like Bablu is not going to let them go away that easily. One managed to crawl inside the house. He needs to make sure he's not being flanked from the right side as well. Finally spots his feet out. This is a real tense moment for his side. Bablu spots another man out. I don't really know what exactly No Sympathy is doing here. They're giving away free kills to Stalwart Esports. This is pretty much a situation that No Sympathy can turn in their favor, but still they're kind of messing it all up. And I don't really understand what exactly just happened. The awareness of mine just switched from 0 to 100 right now. He's clutching this entire situation out. Stalwart Esports is dying slowly and steadily. They are being taken down one by one all the time. And it seems like Markor is not going to be stopping anytime soon. He needs those kills. He smells that blood. He smells the prey as well. Only needs to connect some shots, but he missed those as well. And X, the last man alive in the fight, finally being taken down from the back line.
Exactly, Marco doing the damage. He did 1v2 in that situation, and he was the man that came into that rescue mission. And all in all, he did a decent job in just trying to eliminate the players from Stalwart Esports, and that pretty done. That was done dusted for them. But one more team that just followed them next was G69, as in a split second, two teams gets eliminated.
Exactly, two team eliminated within a blink of an eye, within a second. And wow, what a comeback in that fight. The table flipped real quick. That escalated real quick in that fight there. And Markor, man, wow, what an incredible fight to give. I thought No Sympathy in that fight is just giving away some free kills. They weren't really showing any presence of mind, especially in that fight. But the way he played out that situation, he is the hero of this match.
He is definitely the hero, but unfortunately he was just finished off. But rest of the three players are still surviving. But look at this, 4th generation, 4 kills already onto the name. If we head towards the alive rank standing that is on the right hand side of the screen, so they are looking pretty decent for now. But No Sympathy. We just saw the players from the side we're talking about. We're just talking about the players like Markor and all, and they just got eliminated. That brings us to just 10 teams and 30 players still alive. But Team STDX, a team that hasn't had some good games, is just really trying to make their presence feel. And just because of that, this hill is a very good position to hold off. But then shots will be offered onto you from all different directions, and you have to be very much cautious about that.
Definitely, you have to be pretty cautious in this situation. King, the precise aim, rewarding him. The Chosen 4 man taken down. It seems like the Chosen 4 under heavy pressure, heavy fire, both of them taken down in a single spray. Hater seems like he is going to be instilling a lot of fear, a lot of pressure on those lads. Chosen 4 within a second is down to just a single man or 2 men alive.
Exactly. So, chosen for facing the brunt of the players from fourth generation and also the blue zone. And again and again, we have talked about the thing that doesn't go in your favor. And if we are playing the match of Sanhok, rotation is one thing that you have to prioritize anyhow, because the zone also shrinks at a very different speed, and the map is of a less size, so the teams will be pressurizing in a different situation all in all. But for now, it seems that FTF is on the receiving end. Lala was trying to rescue himself and his team up, but eventually falls down and falters down as Zibyans puts the final nail in the coffin. And with this team, Bablu, with the 3 men strong, maybe P5 gets a revival if he gets into the feed 5 kills, they can really put some real damage onto the players.
That's for sure. They can instill quite a lot of damage in this situation. 4gen, Shoki kind of taking a lot of shots. Doesn't really have any way. He needs to move out in the open, taking quite a lot of shots as well. But it seemed like his opponent was missing a lot of shots on him, so Shoki should be a little good for now. But Spark out in the open, making these rotations. And look at this. It's like they don't have any other choice. The circle is just so tricky to move in. But there's one more team right in their backlines. STDX, you need to watch your backlines because TES, the last member, is right there.
This is a prime example of why you don't force yourself to go into zone just because the blue zone is forcing you to go into zone. Rather, you yourself choose and pick to go into zone, because if blue zone is actually pincering you down and forcing you to go into the zone, then you don't have much options. You have some real path that is already aligned. But Dani just spotted Wolverine, the sole player standing, I guess, from the sides of Team Qwerty out in the open in the track, and he was also trying to capitalize onto that. But obviously, okay, so Qwerty falls down, and Wolverine, the last player surviving, he also falls down.
I kind of disagree with your statement there. You do not need to move out with the blue zone, because the thing is like right now it's the 6th zone, and you do know this is going to be dishing out quite a lot of damage. So you need to move with the blue zone. You don't really have any other choice. If you don't, the blue zone is going to be taking quite a lot of damage away from you as well. And this late in the game, you've already taken so much damage that you've utilized most of your first days as well. But for now, I'm going to hold on to my words, as Bablu seems like they have taken some return fire from their enemy line. 4gen showing their dominance inside the game. Bablu are getting decimated.
Oh, exactly. 2 players already down. Teen Wolf being eliminated, and it's all down to Dani. If he gives the revival, this can be a choice to them, but RZx7E ESPORTS, they won't be allowing them to do so, because they have their eye on and they already know that where they have knocked down the players, and also the blue zone will be coming closer and closer. And if they are into the safe zone or maybe on the edge of the circle, the revival will be a case. And yes, revival will be given, but if at that point, if RZx7E ESPORTS would have given a push, things could have been really, really nasty for them. As Pika again goes down, the blue zone taking the brunt of all these players, and they are really faltering down there.
Falling down one by one. Seems like Bablu in a real bad situation for now. RZ though, seems like they're going to be merciless this time, not giving up on them. They're not going to let them go that easily. Bablu, the last man, is surviving because the second last man has been taken down as well. Danny crawling right next to his teammate. Nate's locked in from their side. Seems like not going to find his mark. Stacks some smoke grenades. Just moves into smoke. But still, the last man is still alive for now. It's going to be Sibyan. And yes, the final bullet finally connects, and that's going to be the final nail in the coffin, as it's going to be RZx showing their dominance in the entire game. 4gen still has a lot of kills. 6 kills on their name. 1 player has already been taken down. STDX joining the fray. They want to get some kills as well. Return fire from here and there. One thing that I like RZx is doing is that they're keeping their silence. They want to let these 2 fight out, and then they will strike.
Exactly. 2 players each from the sides of 4th generation. Eventually now the player has been revived, but no, still 2 players from the side of 4th generation and STX are surviving. And among all these fights, one team is making the most of the situation and in catching the thing that they can do in the best way is that RZx7E ESPORTS, not only they have not given much of sound cue, they have also kept their all 4 men intact, and this can be a game for them, no doubt.
Exactly. It can be a game for them without any doubt. And I mean, things like those, man. Things like those, you need to play pretty safe as well. That nade pretty close. Did get one though. Did cover quite a lot of distance. And this is what we like to see. RZx, 2 players taken down. The tables have turned, being the strongest team in the lobby. And now, just down to a 2-man squad. RZx don't need to be so curious and so aggressive all the time. Maybe try and hold down sometimes as well. That can help you out quite a lot in such fights. And for now, it seems like STDX have the full control over the game.
Exactly. Yesterday we saw one team that did falter out with the same strategy. So in this circle, if the circle contracts, still you have the space. If you have that space, just stay away. Just maintain that social distancing that you were talking about. And because of that, they faced the brunt of it. And one by one, the players were down. A nade that are actually thrown onto them. Just because of that, 2 players got knocked down. And now it is down to a 2v2 affair where the players from 4th generation are up against the players of STDX.
Exactly. 4th generation. Still have Hutter kind of taking a lot of damage, finally taken down as well. Not really going to be happy in those kind of situations. Final man taken down, and that's going to be that when that team taking that chicken dinner in their hands. I mean, wow, what a way to close the things out, right? STDX showing their dominance. 29 points in total, 14 kills. That means 14 points are being added in the total points as well. And 2,108 damage. Now that is impressive. 2,000 damage done in a single game. That's impressive.
Adding to that, one more thing in the map of Sanhok, where you don't get much of that opportunity if we talk about that, and a total of 2,108 damage. That means this team actually dominated the lobby all in all, right from the start, right from the bat. And in yesterday's match also, if we talk about the off maps, the Miramar and the Sanhok that comes and fills in the gap, the void between the two Erangel. Yesterday, STDX took the match away in that Miramar. Today was the time where STDX got the chicken dinner in the game of Sanhok. So it is okay if you don't get those chicken dinners in the map of Erangel. You still have the 2 options, the 2 maps, that is Sanhok and Miramar.
Exactly. I mean, Sanhok and Miramar, you know, we always keep on talking about these maps, but the next 2 upcoming maps are going to be, of course, the next one is Miramar, and then we have Erangel coming in as well. And I want to see how these teams will play out on Erangel as well, because we have 2 big teams coming in this time, Qwerty and Bablu. Now, I want to see how their strategies are panning out in the map of Miramar as well.
It will be indeed, but the most valuable player for this match from the side of STDX will be Spark. A total of 5 kills, 734 damage, 0 assists is there, but still the survival time is a bit less if we have to talk about this, but still the kill and damage that he has been able to secure for his name, that is brilliant.
Exactly, that's pretty brilliant. And now, I mean, things like these are pretty interesting as well. And I mean, you know the things like these, especially we have the top players coming in as well. STDX, you know, they're showing their dominance inside the game. All 3 players are from STDX, and this is just so impressive in itself.
Indeed, and time and again we have seen Bablu Zibyan featuring in that list. Again, the damage is still pretty much, and the 3 kills already onto the name. Bablu did falter somewhere down the line because it was STDX coming right on the top, followed by 4th generation. If we talk about the team 4th generation, maybe lately they have started making a comeback, and they still have 2 more opportunities left for them.
Exactly, 2 more opportunities left for them. And wow, I mean, if you want to learn how to turn these things around, well, I mean, you already know that. I mean, you got to follow STDX. You got to follow their path as well. To be honest, I feel like the way STDX has been playing in this entire tournament is that they're just being so consistent overall, you know? They know how to pan things out in their favor. In the overall rankings as well, they're looking absolutely good.
Exactly, you just need to compose yourself up and maintain the calmness that you just need to, even if you are going down, even there is some hustle and bustle in the lobby all in all, but you still need to calm yourself down. And just because of that, we are seeing some real consistent performance again and again, and because of that, in this match also they were able to secure a total of 29 points. But teams like Tyro, Arkadian, the Chosen 4 again faltering down.
Exactly, faltering down. Well, I mean, things like these, man, I mean, of course, these are pretty interesting, you know, I mean, things like these are pretty interesting, but also we want to see, like, how the rest of the teams that are on the bottom lines, right? I mean, these are just ranking, but teams like the Chosen 4, still kind of down there, still kind of looking really bad. Then we have No Sympathy. But that previous clutch from the side of No Sympathy was, of course, pretty beautiful.
It was indeed, but these were the early fights. The tuk-tuk that you talk about, maybe that was the reason of his demise, as Vegeta was caught in the open and he has no other option, as his teammates just cannot find themselves there and just give him the revival. Also, Tyro just lost their numbers up here because two players were caught off guard while just trying to make a rotation. So showing a back is a thing that you just need to avoid. Again, showing your back, you just cannot find yourself in that position.
Exactly. I mean, not finding in that position. I mean, look at this, right? Stalwart Esports as well. This is the exact clutch that I was talking about. He got caught off guard from the back lines. I mean, they look real comfortable. They look real good and confident as well when they push the fight. But this is where they got kind of overconfident. They started committing the fight one by one instead of pushing together. First player went in, he died. Second player went in, he died. Third went in, he died. And then in the end, there was just Axe left, and he got taken down by the rest of the team. These kind of moments, man, these kind of moments are, and you need to realize, you need to analyze your gameplay as well. What kind of mistakes you did in the past, work on them.
Yep, indeed, and these are the young guns, these are the learning minds if you have to talk about this. But the overall ranking after match 10, Team Qwerty still holding that position, holding that flag of the first position. 10 matches, a total of 167 points. Bablu still chasing well, a 3 chicken dinner already onto the name. STDX also closing up their number to Team Bablu. So maybe if one more match goes into the name of STDX, they might be closing things up for Team Bablu.
Exactly. Might be closing things, but yeah, I mean, such kind of things, you know, they're kind of excite me as well, and especially Bablu. You know, we talk about that team. That team has to be one of the most consistent team as well, looking good on the overall rankings. Now, the only team that need to hurry up is Maximus. I mean, of course, they're not playing in this lobby, but they need to hurry up as well. They need to do something. Renegades as well on the latter half. If you want to make the comeback for the money, do something.
They do, but teams like FTF, the Chosen 4, they are right now on the 13th and 15th position, but they have to secure some good points, because teams like Lost Esports and Renegades and Maximus, when their matches comes into frame, they will be trying to trespass all these players and all these teams. And also, teams like No Sympathy and Qwerty and 4th Generation, they just need to find themselves with the top 16, because the top 16 progresses for the finals.
Exactly. I mean, progressing for the finals, and that's the main goal over here. Try and score top 16, and you will be in the finals, of course, without any doubt. But, I mean, some teams are already on the struggling phase. Look at this. This is the third page, and already we're seeing so many teams struggling down the line. We have Team Prime, 4th Generation coming in, X-Squad, Tyrox, and we have No Sympathy, G69, 1920 Esports,
Exactly.
Glory Nation, and still much more names coming in. And it's not like all these teams are like, it's like we know these teams. We have seen these teams play in the past. They have came a long way, and now if you have to go home from this such a long journey, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be so disappointing.
It will be indeed, because after from this 32 total teams, 16 teams will be progressing. So the dreams, the bragging rights, the everything that was on the line for rest of 16 teams will get shattered. But among that, from ashes, some teams will rise, and the top 16 teams will be aggressing for the top 16 for the finals. But yes, as you just mentioned, teams like Glory Nation and Tyro, they just need to do something differently, because think about this. 2 games still left for them, and also the rest of the groups, when they come into play, they have still their 4 games left. So what sort of pressure are still mounting in their head?
Exactly. The pressure, man. The pressure always, I mean, it just keeps on building up, you know. And especially taking the fact that these are the semifinals, and you need to secure yourself that prize money as well. Same time, go on the finals, and you know, just do good overall. There's a lot of pressure. It does amount, especially in those late games when you see the last zone occur. Your hands just start shaking.
Indeed. Exactly. And with this, the 2 matches are down to the line. The rest 2 matches will be in a moment or two, as we are heading to a very short little breather. Be right back.
PUBG Mobile, Godzilla vs. Kong. All new collaboration, live now. In the latest version of PUBG Mobile, players may encounter titans during a match, just like in the movies. Let's learn more about the all-new game modes, shall we? Titan Strikes. The Titan Strikes mode introduces 3 titans to Erangel, Sanhok, and Livik. Godzilla and Kong move along designated routes across the map. Players can chase after them in vehicles, but if you get too close, you'll be knocked down and take damage. When Titans get ready to unleash a heat ray, the system will prompt players to leave the red zone marked on the minimap. Players equipped with high-level armor receive reduced damage from the heat ray. Titans will absorb energy which emanates gradually from the earth. Once the energy reaches a certain threshold, Titans release it and create Titan crystals around them. Different types of Titan crystals provide different effects. Erangel's blue Titan crystals are special throwable items that players can equip. They knock back and burn enemies who are behind cover. Sanhok's gold Titan crystals enhance players' abilities, making you run faster and jump higher. Livik's red Titan crystals give players the ability to detect enemies nearby for a brief period of time. These enhancement items give players an edge in battle. Use them and bring the chicken dinner home. With the help of Titan crystals, players have even more unique tactics to achieve victory. Godzilla and Kong roam Erangel and Sanhok respectively, and players may bump into them on Spawn Island. Players can preview the Titan's route on the minimap, along with Apex Cybernetics, and low, mid, and high-level monster settlements. Apex Cybernetics are scattered along the Titan's route, which contains many valuable supplies. However, players can only enter the facility after a Titan has destroyed the base. Players that arrive early will not be able to get into the highly fortified Apex camp. At the same time, defeating different monster settlements rewards good supplies. Monster settlements are mainly occupied by lizards and crabs. Players can use a diversion to divide and conquer. The monsters are big, so using a shotgun at close range can deal huge damage. Players must also be wary of the Titan's attacks. Although they're not hostile towards players, they get irritated when there's too many players around. The Titan on Livik has unique electromagnetic abilities that affect the blue zone and cause it to shift every once in a while. Now, players must pay constant attention to the new play zones and transfer immediately when they begin to shrink, as to ensure they're not swallowed by the blue zone. Furthermore, Mechagodzilla periodically scans an area of the safe zone and marks the locations of everyone in the area on the minimap. This urges players to transfer or engage their enemies. Players must be extra careful. The Titan Strikes game mode is based on Battle Royale. Players must strive to be the last one standing amidst battling other players and Titans. With the addition of Titans, players are ready to witness their majesty and get their hands on the mysterious Titan crystals. Enjoy the all-new Titan Strikes and experience the earth-shattering might.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and once again, welcome back to PUBG Mobile Campus Championship Pakistan region. And this whole event is sponsored by Oppo F19 Pro Power Up Game. My name is Ankit, and again, joining alongside me with B Neeraj, so Necro. What are expectation from this third match for the day? So, not much of opportunity left for the players and for the teams for Group A and C.
Yeah, I mean, Group A and C, things are looking, I mean, pretty desperate for especially the teams that are in the bottom lines of these groups, and I'm pretty sure they are pretty desperate to get the points as well. So now I want to see, do they make any desperation move as well in the pressure, or are they going to be playing it calm and collectedly?
Indeed, they will be, but the flight path is already on its way from the area of Junkyard and on the left hand side, and going down towards the area of Ovala Del Mar. So this is a flight path that has been in common in touch, but if the circle goes away, and I have a very strong feeling that the circle might go towards the area of a Trailer Park, El Pozo, La Cobreria, or towards the area of Water Treatment and Hacienda del Patron. So it becomes important to actually go for all those drop rotation and those rotations that we talk about, because in the map of Miramar, whenever it comes, one team, and I guess you have heard it right, that's Team Bablu.
Exactly, Team Bablu. And, well, I mean, Team Bablu, we do know. I mean, I don't really need to elaborate more, especially on this team, but
Yeah.
what I need to elaborate on right now is going to be this zone. Just farmed in. Interesting one as well, kind of on the northern side, all the way in the top. And I want to see how teams are going to be playing out this one, because there's a lot of teams who are not inside the zone.
Exactly, they are not, as some of the teams have already dropped towards the area of southern side of Chumasura and those islands, that small islands that we get in the southern side. But in this very first half of this match, just 2 minute close, even 2 minute hasn't closed before the chosen force unknown has been knocked down. So they are really in a deep trouble for now, because both the teams are really fighting out for that top 16 slot and top 16 spots, and maybe to accumulate as much as points, because after this game only one opportunity will be left to them.
Exactly, one opportunity. Gotta make it to best, man. Gotta make it to best. That one opportunity, you never know if you're going to be getting the second one as well. No
Exactly.
sympathy. Kind of one player of no sympathy. I mean, things are really looking tough for them already. And if you're going to be losing your players like that, then I'm pretty sure that's going to be hurting you quite a lot in the longer run.
It will be, but for now, the team looks well settled. Unknown has been revived, but he just need that first aid kit or maybe the bandages to heal himself off, and then maybe we can see some fight actually panning out in the area. But I can already see one player from the side of No Sympathy on the back hand side. That is Marcor, a player that actually did 1v2 in this last match, being on the verge of elimination. And yes, he bleeds out as Harry gets the first blood and draws the first blood of this match.
First blood is already in their hands. The chosen four here and there, still kind of wandering around. Doesn't seem like they've found themselves the right thing or the right moment. On the right side, take a look at No Sympathy. Finally, the player that went down is back on his feet. He was on the verge of bleeding out as well.
He was, but it seems that the players from the Chosen for just not overextending themselves. But Alian has a very good angle, can draw out some knock, but it's the same. The Chosen for a flank angle created by Legend again and again we have seen, and King with this flank angle from the left hand side, looking very aggressive with that Uzi in that close range. He can really dish out some huge damage. If that straight slamming goes on to the player of Alian from No Sympathy, then it becomes trickier for them, because they just need to either save their player or maybe retreat from that fight. But for now, none of the situation is still happening, because the fight is gone on a deadlock situation.
Exactly. It's gone on a deadlock situation, as you said it. For now, both the teams are looking pretty bad in the way they are right now, but the Chosen Four have gotten themselves the advantage that they were looking for, the man advantage. They're on point as well, while we have Tyro taking a heavy beating as well from their opponents. A lot of frags happening, flying in the map of Miramar, and it's kind of interesting. Miramar being the biggest match, you expect them to actually, the fights happen less often in the start, but in the Miramar map, I see fights happening so many at the start time.
Exactly. So this is an unusual scenario, an unusual match that has still panned out, because in the kill feed we can already see some teams indulging in the fight. F4 coming in that fight, Glory Nation coming in that fight, Tyro going again down by down, and the number of players that has already found themselves flashing in that kill feed. That means the team maybe is just surviving with that one or maybe two player. We have to still wait for the visual, but the fight that we have been witnessing from the start of the match, we have come to 6th or 7th maybe to 6th minute, and the Chosen Four are still giving a very good challenge to the player of No Sympathy. No Sympathy, 3 men standing. Can they pick out this fight? Because already they have lost, both the team have lost a huge amount of time in this fight.
Exactly. Huge amount of time already lost out. The TC4. Well, seems like no sympathy. Again, trying to spot them out. No visual on those lad, at least for now. King is still there in the back lines. Harry as well, hidden behind the truck. I like how they've positioned themselves kind of far away. Two guys right next to each other, and the rest two are kind of separated out from each other.
Exactly, and no sympathies used. He's just trying to hide himself and his head off from those with the help of those walls, just in order to not get any shots connected. But Legend has a very clear-cut angle. He knows the exact position of Zeus because for once, the player from the Chosen Four, the King, was out in the open. He just received the shots from that UMP. Eventually, that UMP shot was not enough to take him down. But in that situation, in that situation, he just revealed his location. So now if that slamming goes on to the player, maybe with the help of smoke wall that can be created, things can turn differently, because I already see the players from the Chosen Four are positioning closer and closer towards each other.
Exactly. Lays lopped in from their side.
Oh,
Like no sympathy. Nade pretty close, overcooked it a little. Zeus lucky to make it out alive from that nade. Another nade lopped in. Legend seems like he's being pretty desperate. Nade's not really making it to the point there. Legend needs to realize his hands are kind of falling short at that point in time. King as well getting himself the knock. No sympathy. Kind of crumbling down like dominoes. What is exactly happening to no sympathy? They're going down all the time, almost all the time. And
exactly.
something is definitely missing here. Something is missing. The IGL calls are not really on point, and these team players and these teammates are not really able to work around it.
Exactly, the same situation that happened in the last match is being repeated. In the last match, it was Markor that came into rescue, else the team would have been taken then and there. But for now, it was not Markor for this time. Now that brings again them down to two men, and now this is a 4v fight going against them. Now is the time that the Chosen Four will be trying to engulf them from the both hand side, and if Harry and C4 King align themselves in a very good position, things could really turn drastically different. But those mollies are really spot on. I don't know how the players from No Sympathy have managed to dodge that.
Exactly. Haven't really able to manage to dodge that. No sympathy though. Still kind of watching the scout out the area. TC4 is right in the front line. Zeus has his sight locked though. Two men, the last two men are alive. And I don't know. Why is TC4 playing this out so passively? They can try and be a little aggressive. A controlled aggression should be enough to at least clear these two men out.
Maybe they're just not confirmed with the location of the second guy from the sides of No Sympathy. Already they knew the location of the exact location, the proximity, and the coordinates of Zeus. But the other guy from the sides of No Sympathy, maybe his location was not revealed, and just because of that, they just don't want to lose on their number, because they know the importance of this game as well as the next one.
Exactly. As well as the next one. Well, it seems like...
Oh.
Well, that's pretty close. Well, it seems like...
He's just baiting.
Yep, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be going for those kills for now. Prioritizing the teammate race first, and here comes a massive push from all the players here. Unknown going to be the first man aggressive side. Wants to find the staircase, still not really able to find it. He's not really able to find the staircase. That seems like, well, still kind of just roaming around here and there. The last man taken down from that squad as well. No sympathy. Unfortunate start for them. Eliminated on 15th position. And no sympathy, man. This was not the game you should be losing.
I really feel sad for the guys from the side of No Sympathy, but straight away, them being sent to the lobby, this is the worst sight for any team, because at no point in this fight they were looking to give a challenge apart from the knock that did come in the very last moment. But they just need to work on maybe in the next tournament, maybe in the further tournament that they try to play, because apart from that 1v2 fight in that last match of Sanhok, they haven't looked good.
Exactly. They haven't really been looking good. At least that point in time. And now it seems like they need to do something. They need to do something. At least try and get something working in your favor. If some strategies are not working, it's fine. Even if you're experimenting some strategies in the end moment. Sometimes it's fine. If they're going to be working out for you, it's fine. Sometimes you need to change the way you think.
Yes, change is the only constant, as we all say, and you just need to change your strategy again and again. But look at this Bablu in the dead smack center, and on the northern side, the team is Qwerty. From the southern side, one team is trying to approach, will not be given and possessed by any challenge, and that is Glory Nation. But again and again, how many times have we seen Bablu playing the map of Miramar and they securing that center position?
Exactly. Center position all the time. Bablu, we have seen in the past as well, they like to do that, contesting the center spot of the zone. And this is what most of the times give them success as well.
It does indeed, because enjoying the center of the circle, even the hardest of the shift of circle, it still puts you still at least on the edge of the circle, and that is a thing that helps you add on, and it is an advantage for you. But for now, out in the open, one player is just trying to spot down the player of G69, and again Stalwart Esports trying to punish the player of G69 for that late rotation. And one thing that Stalwart Esports has to keep in mind, that they too have to make a rotation, and that is of 500 meters. The distance is less, but the way the terrain of Miramar is aligned, that becomes actually trickier.
Exactly. Does become pretty trickier. And now it seems like Stalwart Esports are finally kind of in a tricky spot there. TC4 Legend does kind of send some fear here and there. Bunny, I really feel like the place he have stopped the vehicle here, it's kind of a real bad spot. He needs to make sure he finds himself a good position. Or
Legend left.
prioritize
Oh,
the circle,
man.
and yes, he will be taken down. Not really being aware of the surroundings. The map awareness seems kind of lacking on his side.
Exactly, Pablo was just waiting for his head to pop up, and at that moment, when he was trying to hover his crosshair onto the players of Stalwart Esport, he takes him down. Eventually, Snacks bleeds off, but still, 3 players are alive, and this brings down to them where they will be heading towards the circle. And the circle makes a third shift. That means 1280 meter is what they have to travel. Now, look at this. C4, the chosen 4 king, just have 10 bandages, and all he has to travel is maybe 1000 meters. So this becomes trickier at the end of this.
Exactly. For now, TC4 taking their sweet little time to loot in as well. Got a little kills here and there, but now they're on their way inside the circle. Still taking their quiet little sweet time to rotate as well. I like the way they're thinking for now. Try and play it out, pass him in the start, and then later on go aggressive. Bablu kind of on the same page, doing the same things. And it seems like they do know what is going on here. They're getting surrounded by Team Qwerty. Vortrix almost got taken down, but pretty lucky to stay alive.
So this is a intentional move, I would say now, because this has happened in the third time in a row. Because in Erangel we saw Team Qwerty and F4 going against again, Bablu and Qwerty again going again and again. It was Sanhok that happened the same, and now it is the map of Miramar where Bablu is again going towards the players of Team Qwerty. So now I would say that this is an intentional move. Let's see which team comes out victorious from this. But for now, it seems that Dani has been finished up, and 1 kill has been awarded to the player and to the name of Team Qwerty. So now it's a 3v4 affair. The only thing I can see that goes into the favor of Team Bablu is that the high ridge advantage.
Exactly. Well, now it seems like just trying to scout the area out as well. Pika just know what's going on here. But seems like he still wants to take a little passive approach in the fight.
They do. Circle is gonna make a shift again if this goes away from the area of the ridge that comes into play from the water treatment area. Then the teams like Glory Nation, 4th Generation, and Arkadians, the team that is surviving barely on that 2-3 men, that will be a challenging thing for them. But some teams are also facing the brunt of the blue zone. I will talk about the team of the chosen 4. Unknown, it seems that the players have abandoned him as he won't be saved.
Exactly, he won't be saved. And again, it won't really be an easy job to do. It won't really be an easy task to do as well. I take a look at the circle shift. Shifted away all the way on the right side, and now things are looking good for the team, for Team RZ. They have almost the most of the circle, even the high ground included for them. Stalwart Esports still inside, Tyro included, and there's 2 more teams still looking good. That means Bablu needs to make it inside the circle as well, and this is where a lot of fights will be breaking down.
Indeed, but the way the players from RZx7E ESPORTS have rotated from another side, they are just trying to dominate the circle. The same thing they did in the map of Sanhok, because they didn't take much of fight in the early stage of the game. Same is the strategy that has spanned into them in this game too. So what all they're just trying to do is to play passively for the first 4 or maybe 5th circle, and then if the fight aggresses towards them, it gets inevitable, they will take the fight. But for now, 4th generation caught in the open in the rotation, they have been punished severely. 2 players from the side of Freestyle, as Vegeta and Respect, are just trying to dominate the area that they are holding for now.
Exactly. The area that they're holding off looking pretty strong as well. The Chosen 4 King, the last man alive. 1 bullet is going to be enough to take him out the equation. He will be taken out as well. Well, now it seems like Chosen 4 took quite an early exit in the game. I like how many teams are still alive this late in the game. 4Gen also kind of showing their dominance. It's going to be Tornado getting the numbers on the board as well. TES, 1 player taken down. 4Gen under heavy fire and pressure from the backline. Arkadians putting in pressure, taking them down instantly.
Exactly, Freestyle's Respect also taking some of the fights, as 3 kills already onto the name. It is all onto the shoulders of TES Lovely. He eventually goes down in a very long range fight, as Arkadians are spotting them down pretty heavily. And as you just mentioned, the fires are coming on a very quiet notice, and we can already see Arkadians have already spotted them. Alian has not much of option, because if he falls back, if he finds himself behind that back, he will be getting the shots from our STDX, and if he finds himself on the front of that rock, he will be getting the shots of Arkadians. So he has been pissed off in that situation.
Exactly, pretty much pissed off. Well, now it seems like Stalwart Esports probably scouting the area out as well. RTG, RZ still do know Stalwart Esports is right in their front lines. Hitman wants to at least get a knockout for himself, trying his best to connect 1 shot, but that M24, it needs someone to at least stand still for at least a moment, and then only you will be able to connect a headshot. A lot of kills flying in here and there, though, all over the map.
Indeed it is, but they are in the circle for now, so they can afford to take the fight, or maybe stall the fight for a longer time. As Stalwart Esports, they also need to check out their back because some teams are just aligning again and again. So not only they have to make sure that they don't get any hit from the side of R7 Esports, they also have to make sure that from the backhand side, they just go and backstab. 1 more team follows next in the elimination, and we are down to 10 teams and 28 players. And look at this, just the 20 minutes and only 28 player in this lobby. That means this match has been on a very fast pace.
Exactly, map has been in a very fast pace. It seems like for now this fast pace will be working out for them. Because sometimes fast-paced gameplays do work out, right? Because your enemy don't really expect you to play that aggressive, play those situations out aggressively. And when you do, it's just like they're caught off guard right on their face as well. It's like right in the face, and you don't really have any much to do. But Bablu needs to be careful, because there's Team Qwerty right in the back lines, and I'm pretty sure Waltrux is going to be making these things way much more tougher for them than they are already.
Also, look at the positioning of Glory Nation's Akubis holding that shack. He hasn't given any sound clues, but the moment the players from Team Bablu just don't take notice of them, they will be backstabbed.
Exactly, will be backstabbed pretty much. Stalwart Esports as well. We still have them looking here and there. Stalwart Esports are doing a pretty incredible job up till now since the previous game to survive in those late game situations. RZx7E ESPORTS, we do know they are a pretty good team as well. So for now, in situations like these, holding your horses out and such in late game is pretty much like a lot of ruckus. If you're a team that managed to squeeze out and stay quiet and not really engage in a fight till the late game, you have to be one of those lucky teams. But again, you need to rack up a lot of kills. So staying quiet all the time is not really the key to success.
Exactly, but they are just trying to stay themselves low. R7 Esports trying best to knock the players down, but eventually falters down. A spray that could have been more streamlined just because of that. Not that didn't happen. They were taken down, but now is the time that Stalwart Esports are just trying to flush the player with the help of utilities, because they too don't have much option, because they just cannot fall back. If they try to fall back, the players and from the teams of FS and STDX are already onto the left hand side on the back end side. From the right hand side, if they try to make a push, R7 Esports have their crosshair alliance. All they can do is to pincer down the players, suppress their aggression, and then they can make a push. But for now, it seems that Stalwart Esports are on the receiving end as Cairo goes down. But Tyro again facing an elimination.
Exactly. Game facing an elimination. Stalwart Esports, Bablu here and there, also kind of scouting the area out. STDX still alive late in the game. Arkadians as well, all three players alive. Freestyle not looking good with just two players. Things might just crumble down on them if they're not going to be doing good in the rest of the maps. Bablu taking quite a lot of damage, even from the back lines and from the front lines. There's just nowhere to go, and this is why you should never be a little too curious to get those kills. Greed is never a good thing.
Exactly, R7 Esports making the most of the situation. Still no kills already onto the number. The circle has gone away from them, but look at this. The circle has made a southwestern shift, but none of the team are into that circle. But with that, Stalwart Esports faces an elimination. Now it's up to the players and up to the teams that are still surviving. Future Freestyles, if we talk about this, two players are still surviving. Team Qwerty, if we talk about this team, Wolf, Pika, Zibyan, just trying to take the fight. 2 kills already onto Team Wolf. This lad has also impressed me a lot.
Exactly. This lad has also, I mean, I'm pretty sure not just you, this lad has impressed like pretty much a lot of people overall. And I'm pretty sure in the future as well, he's going to be keeping on doing the same thing. Continuing the performance that you are doing is a massive thing as well. So now we're seeing Bablu over here and they're kind of, you know, taking shots, trying to find some kills. Still kind of lacking on that side. Voltra's taken down. We have Khan as well out in the open. Barely makes it out alive, but no, it's going to be the answer. Destroyer kind of separated out from the rest of the pack. So pretty much it's a gone case for the rest of the team, Qwerty, because it's going to be a tough task to get there. Pretty much impossible one.
Exactly, but Bablu from the northwestern side, if they have to make an entry into zone, they have to do such damage, and just because of that, we just saw Team Qwerty being eliminated. Team Bablu looking damn pretty strong, but willingly or unwillingly, time and again in this whole course of day, we have seen Team Bablu going against the teams of Team Qwerty, and this time it was Team Bablu that emerged victorious because they eliminated some real players from the sides of Team Qwerty. Now it's upon to the shoulders and to the players of R7 Esports. They did manage to get a good total of points in the first game of Erangel. Now is the time that they can make the most of the situation. But having a control of this amount of hill, this position becomes important in the map of Miramar. The same thing is being enjoyed by the side of FTFxESPORTS. 3 players from their side, they can really turn the game.
They can really turn the game on. Also, we have FTF as well joining the fray. Took quite a lot of suppressive fire or return fire from those enemy lines. Lala still alive, popping those painkillers. FTF kind of desperate to move out as well.
Oh,
They're of course being pretty pinned down in the same spot. They're locked out. And it seems like RZ as well, they're going to be locking their sight right in their direction. Just make sure you're not tunnel visioning yourself.
exactly. Some smokes has already been utilized and been used in the same direction, being flushed up, not in idea to lose the rotation and just to cut off the rotation if any team tries to make from that side. But with this, the circle again goes away, where none of the team I can already see. Only the team from the northern side, that is of Team Bablu, holding the edge, and from the southern side I can already see some teams holding the edge, but none of the players, none of the teammates are into the circle.
Exactly. None of them are in the circle. Bablu still kind of wanting to do these things. While we have FTF as well. Lala. Seems like Bablu kind of is playing so safe. Not moving a single muscle. Not giving a single sound cue. If they do, Bablu's position will be given away pretty much easily. FTF will take them down because they have the higher ground.
They do have, as the players from R7 Esports, they still have that same position, but he is very close to the players from Team Bablu. Eventually, Lala takes one more down. Thompson also takes down one more player with the help of that Thompson, but some real blinders has been pulled up as FTF gets eliminated as Zibian comes to rescue, and man oh man, Team Bablu is still surviving this match.
Exactly. For now, 4 teams alive. This is the calm before the storm. Arkadians still alive in such a late game. They needed this off a big game, putting an end to this STDX squad. Arkadians are doing pretty good, looking pretty good. I'm pretty sure they're feeling pretty good as well. Hopefully they carry this momentum the rest of the game, the rest of the tournament as well. I want to see Arkadians on the step of success. As R7 taking quite a lot of damage in the process. Do know Bablu is in the right lines. How are they going to be staying safe though? Because R7 needs to move at least a little bit more in the zone. But doing so, they will lose a lot of cover as well. And Arkadians will capitalize on it, and yes, they did.
Indeed, and still he will survive. But no, as we just mentioned, KMD takes one more down as Boss goes down. So Boss has been the player from their side, but he goes down. That means R7 Esports don't have much options to left. And yes, final lane in the coffin will be brought down as Gambler picks the final kill. Now, it's a 1v4 affair in the side of Bablu, and the 4 players, they know the location where Zibian is hiding.
Exactly. Now pretty much the last kill taken down as well. And it seems like, well, wow, this is what we like to see. And finally this team came out on top. I mean, Arkadians, I was talking about this team since a long time. And situation like those, it is pretty good, you know. 10 kills for themselves. I feel like this is a massive number in itself. 15 points plus total 10 kill points for themselves. That's going to be 25 points in total. And this is where Arkadians carries their flag in the front.
Exactly, and just because of that, they did secure a chicken dinner in this match. 10 kills and a total of 15 points. That total point, if you get a chicken dinner, making a total of 25 points. And that will be helping shoot the number. Eventually, one more game will be still left after this, and we have to still wait. But after this affair that Arkadians made possible in their way, they must be feeling pretty confident. Because 4 men drawing close to the last circle of Miramar, this will be a confidence booster for them.
Exactly. This will definitely be a massive confidence booster for them. Especially a map like Miramar, where a lot of tacticality does need to prove. This is where the real metal is shown. And if you're going to be getting yourself a chicken dinner on the map of Miramar, where you do need a lot of, you know, tactical background, and Arkadians, I feel like, I was telling this in the past as well, they have the caliber. They are a pretty good team as well. But what can they do to exactly get those chicken dinners in their hand? What is holding them back? What things are going wrong? Sometimes in the rotations, they're getting caught off guard. Maybe try and figure out some new rotations on some new maps as well. Miramar, pretty strong, got the chicken dinner for themselves, made a little mistakes here and there, but it's okay, we can work on those.
Exactly, Arkadians, the way they have started performing, because back-to-back matches, back-to-back days for them. Yesterday, we also saw them performing. So this is something that happens again and again. If you are in the rhythm, you just need to carry on the momentum. But the most valuable player match for this match will be STDX Alpha. Again and again, Alpha has been the standout performance from their side. STDX success run was put by a full stop by the sides of Arkadians, but still doesn't helps to keep the players from STDX away, because Alpha, that 3 kills, 796 damage, a total of 3 assists, makes this match for himself.
Does make this match for himself. But we still have Crawl, while we have, you know, STDX as well. Still, again, those top players, STDX is always stealing those spots away. I don't know what they're doing, that they just have some players just who rack up quite a lot of kills. I mean, the kill number, of course, Gambler does have a lot of kills, but the damage is kind of lacking really badly. Only 544 damage if we compare to the player of STDX. He has 796. I mean, that's a massive difference right there.
I mean, yeah, so Arkadian, this has been in their gameplay that we have seen from the last days and today also, that they don't indulge themselves into fight in a very on a very constant basis. So that brings their damage on a lower, if we try to contrast their damage stat, and just because of that they were on a bit low if we talk about the damage stat. But still, a chicken dinner is a chicken dinner that you all hope for.
Exactly. Chicken dinner is a chicken dinner. No matter what it costs. No matter what it costs. No matter if it costs your teammates sacrifice. If you want the chicken dinner, you got to get it. You got to get your tummy filled up sometimes, you know. And this is how they get it filled as well. Blood for blood. Arkadians getting that chicken dinner in their hand. And, I mean, what a way. And what a way to, you know, showcase your kills as well. I mean, it seems like in the past few days, Arkadians weren't really doing that good. But now, finally, Arkadians on the step of success. And I'm pretty sure it's not really far away when we see Arkadians on a comeback.
Yes, but Stalwart Esports, they just need to buckle up their sailbits, because after this match, only one opportunity will be left on the tables, and only one match will be for them. As Stalwart Esports, maybe they have faltered a bit, I would say, in the last two matches, because the way they started to perform themselves in the yesterday's match and in today's matches also, I expected a bit more shiny performance, a bit more glittery performance. But we'll talk about that, because Oppo F19 Promens, the thing that brings the memory refresh, is on it this week.
Exactly. To get our memories a little refreshed, you know, memorize the moments that happened in the previous game. Some iconic moments. Here they are. Arkadians, this is how they got the chicken dinner for themselves. And this was the final match from Team Bablu. I mean, they still got the second place. The consistency from Bablu's side is still there.
Yep.
Qwerty, though. Today seems like they're missing pretty much quite a lot. And Bablu is on a comeback. They won the first position. 171 points, just 1 point shy from that first place.
And look at that kill difference. That is also not much. And just because of that, Team Bablu have done pretty well. They have chased, I would say, because we have seen some chasing game being chased, but some other chase game is being implemented in the overall ranking. Slayers also in the top list, but teams like NFP Sky Sports, obviously the team didn't play the match today, but still holding a very good position. TES, Maximus, RZx7E ESPORTS, but teams like FTF and the Chosen 4, if we talk about this, they just need to be very much cautious, because once the players from Group B and Group D comes in tomorrow's match, their position might be in a bit trickier thing.
Exactly, their position might be in a pretty trickier way, or in a trickier spot. NFP Sky Sports, I mean, still on a loose, almost the verge, but they need to do something to get on those top charts. I mean, there's just so many teams that are pretty good, and I feel like they should be on the top charts, but unfortunately, not all the teams can be there, right? There's only some selected teams that will be on the top charts that will be shifted to the finals, and I just want to see which of those teams are going to be. I mean, we already have some, you know, teams in the top 3. I mean, it's pretty much like they have frozen that spot for themselves.
Exactly. But 4th generation, standing on the 18th position, they still have that opportunity, still have that one more chance left in the bag to maximize that lead from 54 points. Can they climb towards the 80? And then that will be all again rest on the Group B and Group D, that if they can bypass them or not. But if you eventually don't find yourself in the top 16, then you don't have any other option.
Exactly, you don't really have any other option. I mean, the top 16 is what you're aiming for, and I'm pretty sure, you know, when it comes to those positioning from 14 to 16, it's pretty much like, in the end, it's down to luck, you know, which team is able to get a good game in the last ever game, and then if you're able to secure the 16th position for yourself, that's when you would actually get it. But for now, we have Arkadians, the entire squad, and how they performed overall in these games.
Exactly, but I'm a bit surprised because Kazan's KPM, that's the kill per match, is a bit less if you talk about and contrast with its own teammate, his own player, that his own friend, that is Gambler, because Gambler's KPM is 1.91 and Kazan's is 1.55. Eventually, the damage of Kazan is a bit more, if we have to talk about this, than Gambler, but still the kill conversion rate, that actually matters a lot. That is a bit less, because again and again, even if we see a slightest of push, slightest of aggression, it's the Kazan from the side of Arkadians that makes the first go, and he's the whistleblower from his side, but KPM is a bit lagging from his side.
KPM definitely is kind of lacking, you know, from his side, but maybe just a little bit more fresh breather for himself, and then he will come out on top.
Exactly. And with this, we are done with all the three matches. And the last match for the day and the last match for Group A and Group C will be live. But before that, we'll be taking a very short breather. We will right back.
What's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
PUBG Mobile, Godzilla vs. Kong. All new collaboration live now. In the latest version of PUBG Mobile, players may encounter titans during a match, just like in the movies. Let's learn more about the all-new game modes, shall we? Titan Strikes. The Titan Strikes mode introduces 3 titans to Erangel, Sanhok, and Livid. Godzilla and Kong move along designated routes across the map. Players can chase after them in vehicles, but if you get too close, you'll be knocked down and take damage. When Titans get ready to unleash a heat ray, the system will prompt players to leave the red zone marked on the minimap. Players equipped with high-level armor receive reduced damage from the heat ray. Titans will absorb energy which emanates gradually from the earth. Once the energy reaches a certain threshold, Titans release it and create Titan crystals around them. Different types of Titan crystals provide different effects. Erangel's blue Titan crystals are special throwable items that players can equip. They knock back and burn enemies who are behind cover. Sanhok's gold Titan crystals enhance players' abilities, making you run faster and jump higher. Livik's red Titan crystals give players the ability to detect enemies nearby for a brief period of time. These enhancement items give players an edge in battle. Use them and bring the chicken dinner home. With the help of Titan crystals, players have even more unique tactics to achieve victory. Godzilla and Kong roam Erangel and Sanhok respectively, and players may bump into them on Spawn Island. Players can preview the Titan's route on the minimap, along with Apex Cybernetics, and low, mid, and high-level monster settlements. Apex Cybernetics are scattered along the Titan's route, which contains many valuable supplies. However, players can only enter the facility after a Titan has destroyed the base. Players that arrive early will not be able to get into the highly fortified Apex camp. At the same time, defeating different monster settlements rewards good supplies. Monster settlements are mainly occupied by lizards and crabs. Players can use a diversion to divide and conquer. The monsters are...
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome back to PUBG Mobile Campus Championship Pakistan region. And this whole event is sponsored by Oppo F19 Pro. Hook up your fun. My name is Ankit, and again, my friend Necro will be joining alongside me.
Exactly. I mean, the previous game, man, Arkadians finally got themselves on the board, and this is what we like to see. Teams that are not really, able to get themselves on the board, that are not really able to get the chicken dinner, but they have the caliber. We want those teams to win, and finally, Arkadians got themselves on the board with that beautiful chicken dinner with a lot of kills, happily.
Also, see teams like STDX and as you mentioned, Arkadians. So Arkadians did falter out their number and their chances, but when it mattered the most, when it mattered in the last 4 matches, Arkadians have been performing decently. But with this, the final match for the day, and obviously for Group A and C, because after this, all the 12 matches will be exhausted for them. The flight path is on its way from the area of military base down towards the area of Gatka and to the western side of hospital. So teams like Qwerty that do like to go towards the area of Lipovka and the city around that same side, I'm a bit worried because if they do have that secondary drop location, they might go for that.
They might go for that, is what you called out. While we still have the other squads making the move on the center of the map, Pochinki is the place where Team TC4 is kind of eyeing out for Bablu. I want to see where these lads go towards. Seems like Georgepol is going to be the area, but Circle is going to be an interesting factor. It seems like
Exactly.
2 team this time. have not really connected in. We're missing some teams here.
Exactly, two teams have not eventually joined the frame, but let's focus on the teams that are in the frame. That means a team like FS will be in the frame. Teams like Stalwart Esports will be in the playing frame, and teams like TES Arkadians and all these teams will be fighting out. But look at the cluster: Novo Ripnoy, team like 4th Generation, team like R7 Esports, and No Sympathy, and also maybe does FR have also dropped down the same area?
Exactly. It seems like No Sympathy as well is right there. See, 4 squads in the same
Exactly.
area of Novo Ripnoy. It's kind of interesting how they're going to be coming out from that situation. I want to actually see like how they falter out of that situation, because for now, 4th Generation are kind of in a real tricky spot. Tornado, he does know, should not be roaming out in the open. A little bit more exposure off his body, and he might just be beamed out the game.
So 3 teams are very close to each other: 4th Generation, Glory Nation, same vicinity, No Sympathy. One team, R7 Esports, that hill, that compound that gives you cover, is now being contested by the 7 of R7 Esports. So one team is isolated a bit if we have to talk about the proximity, but the rest of the players have the most of the cover. For now, No Sympathy has the best of the angle and the best of the loot, because they have covered almost all the containers that we have in front of us, and all the compounds. They will have or enjoy all these loots that they have in front of us, and eventually if a push come onto them, they will have to go with the all rudimentary loots they have it for now.
Exactly. They will have to go there without any doubt. No Sympathy, again, on the verge of trying to find themselves a good spot. Going down here and there, No Sympathy. Alien kind of wants to find the opening. I mean, each and every single team in this vicinity, I'm pretty sure they want to find the opening. At least the opening is going to be enough to make a little bit of move. At least will buy them enough time to get a little aggression on the teams that they want to take down. But take a look at Azaz. Look at that risky rotation being made from that man. If he exposes his body a little too much, he might just be taken down, because he doesn't really have a lot of cover working for him.
Indeed, he has, but Alian, with that different flank angle that he has created for them, this is a risky move from them, but this is also a bold move. If he gets that knock into his number, into his favor, this can be an opening for him as well as for his team, and then he can rush with it. But I'm surprised actually, because the way they have all of the teammates, all of the players from the rest of the teammates have actually maintained the calm and the composure and the truce that they have mutually settled themselves up with, that we are not going to create any opening. This is incredible.
Exactly. Pretty incredible for now. While we still have 4Gen kind of on that passive side. I like how 4Gen is being pretty, like, careless about the situation. Shoki, though, finally realizes No Sympathy have their sights locked on their side, so need to be a little cautious as well from their side in itself. But No Sympathy kind of missing out a player on the terrace. He can easily take him out if he wants to, but oh my god, he's not really able to see in his peripheral vision, because he's locked on the players that is right above them.
Exactly, but now is the time that with this flank angle that Alian has created straight onto the tower, maybe with this flank angle he can give the info that his team requires, and then accordingly the team can go for the push. And yes, with that, yeah.
For now, 4Gen still kind of playing it out pretty safe. We have Shoki looking here and there. No Sympathy. Alian is still on the top lines. Is still on the top here. Alian kind of also, if he makes any sound, I feel like he will be put in a pretty uncomfortable situation where he just cannot get down it.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's a vulnerable position. If it gives you that availability of option, that eventually puts you in that susceptible position, you become vulnerable. If we have to talk about this, so there is an opportunity. There are some things that can take you down, so you have to be very much cautious for now. But still, no knock has been made. But as I said, that Alian with that flank angle has finally made it possible for his team where they can rely on that push, as now it's the number disadvantage that the 4th generation players will be facing. And in this pressure, one team will crumble and one team will rise.
Exactly, one team will crumble. 4gen kind of on that aggressive side this time. There's one more team right into the front lines. F4 seems like no sympathy are in massive trouble. Zeus has been taken down. One player's being pretty aggressive, but Shoki is playing this out pretty safe. He's being patient behind that car. He does know if he's going to be impatient, then maybe Tables might.
Exactly, but Shoki puts him down. Hitkit gets eliminated. Zeus is still down on his knees. And now Marco, everything rests on his shoulder. This is a 1v2 affair. He takes one down as Tornado shows his back at the very last moment. Then this can be a detrimental for them.
Exactly. For now, seems like no sympathy. They have the upper advantage inside this fight. Marcor. 4gen is still in the front lines as well. Hater kind of running out in the open. Almost gets spotted, taken down. Marker a little late to react in time. Maybe a little quick in reaction than he should have. He could have landed a few shots, and Octown was quite tough in that situation. No sympathy. Down is just a last man surviving. He's crawling right next to him. Is the rest going to be there? Yes, it will be. So now they will be, at least getting an addition in the numbers. Now they are going to be a 2-man squad if he gets the rest up successfully.
4th generation are really trying very hard. Before the match, we just saw them on the rank standing and they were not looking good. Were on the 17th, 18th and 19th position and lingering in the same number here and there before the match started. And this is the moment. 2 kills already onto the number. They already know that the number game is in their favor. All they can do is just eliminate the player that are standing right in front of them, and maybe they can come into that contestation, because all you need to do is to get in the top 16 spot at least. Rest you leave on the rest of the team that come into the fight, but at least your job is to find yourself in the top 16.
Exactly, your job is that. For now, no sympathy. Alien still kind of camping this area out. Well, it seems like 4gen are not just going to let them go away that easily. Hater as well wants those kills. He's pretty hungry as well. 4gen, one man has been taken down. Hater down to low HP as well. No sympathy, kind of struggling in this fight. Included, Alien has been taken down. Last man alive from 4gen, but he's going to be taking him down as well. Gaming, proving his point and coming out on top in that fight.
Exactly, players has gone down again and again, but as we talk about, the number advantage eventually favors you. In this fight, nothing was wrong that was committed from the sides of 4 generations and rest of the players that just got eliminated. Only they just went down because they were down with the numbers advantage, and just because of that, we saw them faltering down, and maybe this is a game end for the sides of No Sympathy.
Exactly, this is game end for their side as well. Where now we have Arkadians also kind of racking up, stacking up in the center of the map. Bablu as well kind of stacking up in the center. While we have so many teams just, accumulating in the center side of the map. While we still see from the top side, we have some more teams coming in. It's like there's less team and the circle is big, so the chance of fight happening, it looks pretty less.
Yep, it is for now, as we have already witnessed some of the fights, and that fight stalled in the area of Novoripnoi. Out of that 10 minutes, all the visuals have come from the sides of Novoripnoi, so you can understand the fight, the intensity with which the players are playing. But I was surprised to see RZx7E ESPORTS also dropped in the same location, but they just said no to all those fights. Also, one team that was very close to them, that was of Glory Nation.
That was of Glory Nation without any doubt. I still have Tyro kind of in a uncomfortable situation, uncomfortable position for now. Well, it seems like Tyro wants to kind of make these teams possible. While we just have Voltrix over here and there moving out from the left and right side. Voltrix taken down as well. Unfortunate positioning from his side. Team Qwerty coming out on top in that fight. The res on to Voltrix shouldn't really be a tough task.
Oh, Stalwart Esports! Stalwart Esports enjoying the kills, just trying to pincer them down, realizing the same moment, the right fact They were trying to make a rotation from the same side, but they just knew they have read the kill feed brilliantly, and just because of that, they are trying to pincer them down. And this is a situation because Stalwart Esports has climbed their number, have find themselves in the top half of the chart brilliantly, and all they are trying to do is to pincer them down. And now is the time that Qwerty Esports has to fall back, and they have no other option left. But they have to be very much careful because on the right hand side, one team is just waiting with that eagle size, and that is of Team TES.
Exactly. They're waiting with their eagle eyes out. Well, Team TES still see kind of on the passive page here. TES wants to get, or TES is a team that wants to rack up those kills. But at the same time, those kind of passive strategy, the compounds that they actually choose, most of the times it's just kind of like in the no man's land. And then in the late game zone, when they actually need to fight out the situations, they just crumble down. And this is where fights should be planned out, and I feel like TES can do way much more better if the fights are planned out well.
Yep, it is something that they just need to look up at for. But for now, it seems that they are just enjoying the same location and holding the same area on the backhand side of the fight that was actually taking the place. And all the players, all the team are just trying to engage themselves in an open position. So this is a vulnerable position. This is a susceptibility as the team can face. Voltrix, kind of, he is stuck in the same situation as he's just not able to find himself away from the fight. But Stalwart Esports are just possessing a real challenge. Destroyer and Wolverine from the backhand side have done decently, have done brilliantly their job in order to secure the player, the Voltrix that is still stuck in the situation. But the Chosen Four, they are also making a close in on the same angle.
They're also making a closing on the same angle. Stalwart Esports, Voltrix kind of in an uncomfortable spot. He's stuck behind this little tree. While we take a look at Bunny, he wants to make it on top of the hill as well, but he's not really able to go back. Well, unfortunately, he's just sliding down the mountain. And at the same time, there's some teams who are trying to pressure him down. The Chosen Four are making a risky rotation out in the open, finding themselves a compound that they can call it a home. Finally, seems like Bunny's back up, almost is back up, but one player of Stalwart Esports taken down from the back lines. Chosen Four are going to be the one to do that. For now, Stalwart Esports, they are getting pinned down from both sides, even from the front line, even from the back line, and they are in a massive sandwich situation.
So if Voltrix has read the kill feed well and he knows the sound cues, now is the time that he needs to realize that if he gets the slightest of the option, he can maximize the situation. But for a moment, it seemed that the Chosen Four were just trying to pincer them down, but caught in the open, C4, he was so down on so HP that he just didn't hold his nerve off, and he just fell himself down from that buggy that he was trying to rotate with. And with this, it seems that the Chosen Four, they have nothing to lose, and just because of that, they are just trying to go YOLO.
Exactly, trying to go YOLO. That's just how they're trying to play this game out this time. While it's still half TES locking their sights on in their front lines. Lovely as well. Playing the situation kind of passive. This entire squad is just being so passive in these games. I feel like at this point in time, they should at least get out and try and rack up a few kills here and there. Because if you're just going to be sitting on 0 kills, even though if you get a chicken dinner with like just 4 kills, it's not going to be making a lot of difference. 19 points in your hand, that's not a massive boost.
Still, TES holding to the same angle, and as you just mentioned, they are just not trying to get away from the comfort zone that they are enjoying. Now heading towards the fight that all we are witnessing from the sides of RZx7E ESPORTS. They dropped to the area of Novorupna, have made a successful rotation and came closer to the area of Milta, and between the shelter where the compounds are aligned. 2 players can be spotted on the TV screens taking fight against the players of STDX that are trying to possess a big challenge for them. I'm just waiting where the rest of the players have aligned, or maybe have they been eliminated. This is a thing that I just need to watch out for. But STDX, maybe they are just trying to rotate from some other angle, or just trying to go into zone. And yes, they are trying to go into the zone as the 4th shift has gone away from them. But Bablu was also spotted in the same vicinity.
Exactly, Bablu as well did get kind of spotted out in the same vicinity. R7, still 12 teams alive and just a 4th zone. I mean, these are quite a lot of teams considering the fact that this is the 4th zone. 5th zone will be almost on the move in 10 seconds.
It will be, and then we can see some congestion that is already developing on the eastern side, where the players from STDX taking their fight, but slowly and steadily FTF Spicy goes down. Dante has also been knocked off. He will be given revival, but the thing remains that how they will be making a rotation. Meanwhile, Glory Nation, as ours, the last player was surviving, has been picked off from the sides of Team Bablu, and Bablu with that 1 kill are enjoying at its with the utmost taste, I would say, because a championship battle between the #1 and #2 is still on the line, as Qwerty and Team Bablu are challenging them again and again.
Qwerty and Team Bablu making these kind of things, making games so much more tougher for all these teams. STDX approaching the players of Team Bablu. Bablu kind of separated out and separated between two, but those nade barrage coming out from the side of Bablu is going to be such a precise nade incoming from these lands. Zabian as well, kind of joining the fray. The rest of the Team Bablu as well, providing the backup. And STDX seems like this time they will have to back out. They don't have any other choice. Still, just to play it out as safe as possible. Finds himself a little shack. Going to be staying inside it, at least for now, but he has some people in the back lines, and including Bablu being in the front lines. And I'm pretty sure getting out of this tricky spot is going to be one of the most toughest tasks.
But it will be a no from the sides of Team Bablu, as the last player surviving from the side of STDX takes an exit, and the team becomes the 4th team from this lobby to make an exit. And with this, Arkadians are also just trying to find their fights here and there. I can already see their vehicle has been destroyed. Maybe they have just destroyed their vehicle to create the artificial cover, and with the help of smoke, they are trying to pencil down the player. But Freestyle also facing an early elimination.
Exactly, Freestyle facing an early elimination this night as well. Stalwart Esports. And now Stalwart Esports finally kind of doing a lot of work in these late game circles. And I feel like this might just be their game. All 4 players alive, split in a 2-on-2. This split sometimes does work out in your favor. But if it doesn't, then it just puts your team in such a massive disadvantage. So you got to be confident, especially if you're splitting up in D half. The Chosen 4 is the team that is riding their front lines as well.
Exactly. By the looks of it, it seems that Stalwart Esports are pretty damn confident. The way they have panned out the whole of the day, this is a confidence that has also let them go for the 2-2 split, because before the day actually started, they were just trying to get in the groove. But as the match just passed by, they are now looking in a very good touch. But Team Qwerty is also trying to find their fights here and there. They have their crosshair aligned well onto the players of Stalwart Esports, and look at the positioning of the players of Team Qwerty standing in the dead smack center. Voltrex holding that shack. Some players are also holding that lighthouse area, and one player onto the downhill side. So a team that is looking good, that is possessing a good challenge to Team Bablu. Bablu just need to find themselves off from here.
Yep, Bablu needs to find themselves at least a better spots than they have right now. Stalwart Esports now still kind of locking out their sights in the enemy line. They're looking pretty good as well. 8 teams alive in such late circle. It's a small circle this time. Team Qwerty's inside it, including 4gen, and then we have Arkadians as well, still making it out alive. But Stalwart Esports is still alive in the game, and I'm pretty sure teams like Bablu, 4gen, and Stalwart Esports, and Team Qwerty are just going to be making things so much tougher for the Chosen 4, FTF, Arkadians as well.
Exactly, but Team Qwerty is holding a very good angle, is in the dead smack center. But if you are in the center, you are holding it, that also invites the multiple shot from multiple directions. So Qwerty has to be very much aware of that situation. But for now, it seems that apart from the Chosen 4, most of the teams like Bablu, 4 Generation, TES, Stalwart Esports, and Qwerty and Arkadians are all at least 3 men strong. So this is a game that can go down to the wire. Meanwhile, Team Qwerty has started their onslaught going against the players of 4 Generation, as Shoki has been knocked off.
Shoki knocked out, almost about to be down and dusted as well. Makes it back to safety just in the nick of time. Well, he's in quite an unfortunate place for now. It's like the place that he's in right now pretty much the res will be there though. But as soon as he gets back up, things are not looking good though. Stalwart Esports joining the fray as well, taking them down. The Chosen 4 eliminated out the game. And I'm pretty sure they are the king of the hills right now. They have the high ground. Cairo kind of getting caught off guard. Didn't really know where he's getting shot from. Voltrix, the man is just an absolute laser beam. Spots Bablu out as well. He spotted out his little legs from such a far distance. And this man, wow, he has some inhuman eyes right there.
A pixel is all what all these players, all these teams want, and if you offer them a pixel, they will convert into a knock. This is what an answer, a thing that has been thrown onto the players of Stalwart Esports. Again, the leg has been spotted. Pablo was brought down to 20 HP, barely survives. One more bullet, if that gets connected, then Stalwart Esports will face the brunt. But still, they are surviving anyhow with the help of those bushes and those artificial cover that they have created. But 4th generation, standing 2 players strong, they have anyhow managed to come this far. 4 kills already onto the name. If they go closer and closer and find themselves with at least 12 or 8 points with that placement points and maybe a total of 8 kills, so 15 points or 14 points will be helping them to shoot up their numbers.
Exactly. That will be helping them quite a lot out to shoot up their numbers, that's for sure. Well, now it seems like pretty much they're trying their best to play it out safe as well. Voltrix kind of on that aggressive page. Bablu is a massive team. You do not want to challenge the fight straight up. But seems like Voltrix doesn't care anymore. He's just going to be straight up rushing in. But here comes the ram in as well from their side. Bablu and Team Qwerty, both of the strongest teams going head-to-head against each other. 2 Alpha Titans clashing against each other. Which one will come out on top? Seems like Team Qwerty for now are looking pretty good as well. Pika needs to get the res on his teammate. But is Team Qwerty going to let that happen? Nade lobs in from their side, not going to be finding its mark this time.
The clash of the Titan 5 times in a day. This is something impeccable. This is something unbelievable from the sides of Team Bablu and Qwerty. Now, Team Bablu has anyhow managed to let their players up on the feet, but the damage has been done onto their numbers. 10 kills already onto their players, but man disadvantage is what they will be playing up for because Team Qwerty are with 3 men strong.
Exactly. 3-man strong squad, as you did say. Well, now again, Team Qwerty wiped the entire squad of Bablu, almost wiped them out, but still they're alive. 2 players are still alive. 2 have been taken down. I'm pretty sure that fight was not really looking good for the side of Team Bablu, and they're going to be pretty sad after taking that fight. They're going to be pretty disappointed the way they took that fight. There were some instances where they got really aggressive, and I feel like they should have held back.
Maybe they should have, but in this last match, because this is the last match for them, eventually they know that which team they are fighting against, and a team that has been constantly putting their nose against to them. If we talk about the positioning point that they are holding as Team Qwerty has been challenging them, the Team Bablu and Qwerty are interchanging their position again and again, but still Team Qwerty right on the top. Will Bablu be trespassing them? This is a question that will be answered after this match, but still 7 kills already onto the name. 10 kills in the name of Bablu. Arkadians Gambler has been spotted, a player that has a very good kill per match in this last match. Before this match started, we just saw him. He just need to find himself in a good position, and maybe if that goes into the number, Arkadians may secure a chickener because they are also a team that are 3 men strong.
Exactly. They are also a team that is 3-man strong. Well, it seems like things are looking pretty tough for them as well. Quite a tough task, at least for now. Voltrix taking a lot of visual info from here and there. Stalwart Esports in the front line as well. TQT, which is Team Qwerty. They do know Arkadians is right in the front lines. 4gen, I do not like the way Tornado has positioned himself, because when the circle kind of shifts away, it is already away. That means Tornado needs to make it inside the circle while at the same time facing Arkadians and Team Qwerty. While we again see Stalwart Esports showing their dominance, taking the last member out of Team Bablu. And that's going to be it. That's going to be the end of the story for Team Bablu right there.
Exactly, but Tornado, as we just mentioned, he is not in a good position, but all he can do is backstab to the players of Arkadians that is on the left hand side. But does he know that two players are already been knocked on? That means it's all down to the sole player surviving from the sides of Arkadians, and now is the time that Team Qwerty will be enjoying all the kills. Look at the way all the three players are in a split. Stalwart Esports Bablu, out of the 8 kills, 6 kills into his name. He is just playing a match of his life.
Exactly, playing the match off his life. And now it seems like Voltrix, again, 4-gen kind of Tornado. It's just like, I like how these guys are proning against each other. And it's like the way these guys are proning, it seems like they have a little clue that what's going on around them, but at the same time, they have no clue. They're pretty clueless. And Arkadians seems like not going to be going for the rest this time, preferring to go inside the zone instead. Understandable moment because the zone was closing in. Gambler didn't really have any other choice. He has to let his teammate bleed out. Or maybe no, the rest is there. He is back on his feet.
He is, but meanwhile, he has just lost that important time that we talk about, and Qwerty just making the most of the damage. Voltrek has taken 2 players down with the help of that Groza, and it seems that the sole player surviving will be taken down. And now is the time when Team Qwerty, with that 10 kill, they are looking very strong. The sole player surviving from the sides of Stalwart Esports, Pablo. I'm just waiting for the circle to contract. Does he have anything other to offer? Does he have anything other to shock the players of Team Qwerty? The question will be answered in a moment.
Question will be answered in the moment. Team Qwerty here and there moving out. Finally, one player out in the open. Voltrix almost spots him out, and finally seems like final nail will be put in the coffin. Team Qwerty getting that chicken dinner. We were talking about how Bablu was making a comeback, but now Team Qwerty has finally gotten themselves a massive lead in the overall leaderboard. At least not a massive, but a decent lead coming out from Team Bablu. But also Team Bablu, I'm pretty sure they did quite well in the previous game as well. So overall
Indeed.
rank, of course, #1, keeping their position frozen for today. 26 total points, 11 total kills for themselves, 2,091 damage. That's impressive.
That's what a champion team do, and time and again we have seen the same performance coming from the sides of Team Qwerty. The rest of 3 matches didn't go in their favor, and we just saw how Team Bablu was closing that lead. Now was the time when Team Qwerty had the last opportunity, and they just encashed in the way they always wanted to.
Exactly. Well, I mean, Team Qwerty, though, I mean, this is what they wanted. Finally, the first chicken dinner of the day. But, I mean, in the final map, so unfortunately, there's going to be no more map. These were all the 4 games that were played today. And 6 kills for himself, 834 damage overall, 2 assists. Voltrix deserves this MVP.
He does. Voltrix, again and again, we have seen the player shining, and he just shines to outshine other team members of maybe his team or of his enemies if he comes into his crosshair or his radar. 834 damage in a single game with 6 kills and 2 assists. An all-rounder player is all I have to say.
Exactly. We have the top players of this entire game. And again, Voltrix on the top. Pablo deserves to be here as well. He did quite a lot of things, but just kind of lacked away in the damage. 806 damage for himself. I mean, not really far away from Voltrix, so I feel like he deserves to be on the #1 as well. So Pablo and Voltrix did quite an incredible job in that previous game. But Team Qwerty overall, the chicken dinner is theirs. They have the glory in their hands as well. #1 is frozen, and the way they're playing in this tournament, hats off.
Exactly, the #1 is frozen, as you just said. If none of the other teammates in the rest of the 4 matches just try to bypass, which is unlikely, if I have to be very honest, if we talk about the points and stats. But teams like FTFxESPORTS and 4th Generation in this last match also just tried to give that hard fight, but still faltered down. Freestyles in this last match did falter down, but I still didn't understand the way Tyro, the Chosen 4, and No Sympathy just went down again and again and again and again. The matches changed, the thing changed, the opponents changed, but they just choked again and again in this every match.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it seems like Oppo Oppo F19 Pro Moments is back here to refresh our memories. What exactly happened in the previous game? How those iconic moments went down. Sometimes, some moments do slip out from our mind. This is why Oppo F19 Pro Moments is here to remind us, isn't it?
Exactly. And we just mentioned these fights all in all totality, and we just saw players going down and down. It was a moment where Alpha just tried to find himself on the back end side, but Bablu was a team that did take him down. Qwerty was just ruling the area that they were in. Any player that they spotted at any moment, they were just trying to pick them down, and just because of that, we saw them securing the chicken dinner. But before that, some more actions also did happen. These Groza spray while proning. This is phenomenal.
Exactly. Phenomenal gameplay, but how can we take the glory away from Team Qwerty just like that? 198 points for themselves. Not really far away from Bablu.
Exactly.
A little bit more effort from their side. And then Team Qwerty might just Bablu might just kind of clinch it away from Team Qwerty. But again, it's not going to be that easy. We also got to give props to teams like Arkadians and STDX and even Stalwart Esports. They have came a long way. Stalwart Esports was on the latter half of the leaderboard, but now they're on the first page, doing an incredible job. Keep on this momentum, Stalwart Esports, and I'm pretty sure in no time you guys will be in the top 3.
And also, I'm impressed with the way FTF, the Chosen 4, and the 4th generation have made their comeback in the top 16. 13, 14, 15 is the respective position that is secured by them. So this is the last resort that they could have done, because if they wouldn't have been in the top 16, they wouldn't have been even hoped other teams to falter down, because all you need just to do is to occupy the top 16 spot. And in this last match, they have done decently well if we talk about securing the top 16 position.
Exactly, top 16 position. Well, the Chosen 4, man. This is the kind of team I always have my sights locked on, because I want this team to do better. I keep on saying this all the time as well, but somewhere down the line, they're lacking, and I don't really know why and what.
And yes, Taro, no sympathy, Glorination. It seems that probably their game has been ended here, because they are on the third half of the chart from 17 to 24. And we already know if the team is in the top 16, that will be aggressing towards the final. So they have just lost this opportunity.
Exactly, lost this opportunity. And, opportunities lost, and I really, I'm a kind of person who believes if you get an opportunity, just try to take it, If you get an opportunity, try to take it, because you never know if you're going to be seeing the next day, Never know if you're going to be getting the opportunity again. So try and minimize your flaws. You still have a lot of time. You can go back home, after these games is pretty much done. You can sit back, chill, relax, have your tea, coffee. While you're having that, watch the games, watch this tournament, watch me cast. Okay, I didn't mean that, but watch us cast, just watch, have a great time watching as well. And then overall, try to figure out what exact mistakes you made.
I guess all the players, all the teams do their homework while muting ourselves, because we just keep blabbering on and on and on. So
man,
they just need to find... just need to find the gameplay, the rotation that they have already faltered on. But Necro, they might have faltered down, they might have missed the opportunity, but all they have gained is from their side that they have played against big names, teams like Qwerty, teams like Stalwart Esports, teams like Bablu. So the experience that they carry on the back, that's massive.
Exactly. So things are looking pretty good, for now, and especially things like those, as you did say, these professional players probably do their homework as well. But still, some of the teams that are in the bottom, now 4th generation stepped up quite a lot. I can definitely tell that they're doing their homework. The way they played today, without any doubt, I'm not going to be doubting that team anymore. Now, they probably do their homework, but I still feel like there's still more teams who need to step up, who need to wake up. It's already too late. If you're going to be making it too late, if one more day passed by, the time is gone. It's gone. You're not going to be able to come back. It's just no way you're going to be coming back to 16 from all the way down to 25 to like 34.
And yes, indeed, it does happen in the competition. You just cannot get more and more of opportunity. All of the team knew that it was the 12 matches, all in all totality, that each of the players, each of the teams will be playing. And in that, some did falter, some did qualify, some did try to manage to close in with that 1, 2, 3 spots. I'm talking about Team Qwerty, Bablu, and STDX. But one thing, as you just mentioned, 4th generation and the Chosen 4, they did brilliantly well in order to qualify, make it to the top 16, but still 4 matches are left for the B and D group, and then they have to also rely on the performance on the group B and D for the 4 matches. But all they can do in order to put themselves in the fight and in order to put themselves in the competition is that if you have to be in the top 16.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's for sure. The top 16 is the main place where you actually want to be in situations like these. And I'm pretty sure a little patience, a little patience from all these bottom teams as well, as I did mention. Try and do homework more. If you're not really able to, come out on top, maybe you're missing something. Try and communicate with your IGL. What
Yeah.
exactly is going wrong? Try and understand his state of mind. You can help him out. Of course, we're humans. We can help each other out. And just things like those, man, a little understanding things, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure even the mental state improves quite a lot. And when the mental state is on its prime, you're on your prime.
Exactly. Communication is one thing that settles the worst of the dispute, the worst of the miscommunication that does happen. And you were mentioning about this, and I'm damn sure that the team that are in the safe spot, that are in the driving seat, that will be communicating. Obviously, some teams that did miss out the opportunity will be coming with another bang. But with this, we are done for the day, as all the 4 matches has been done for Group A and C. Tomorrow is a day where I'll be strictly waiting, and I'll be interested to see where Group B and Group D will be going and squaring themselves against us. But for that, we'll be taking a leave for today, because tomorrow we'll be back with the action. But for now, it's a bye for now.